What up? What up? How's it going, my young Zedek brides? I love you all. Thanks for being here. Hope you enjoy this. I'm gonna have to cut out for a little bit. I'll try to come out and get back here as soon as possible, but it's almost 11. I know most of the time people like to show up, so I'm gonna throw this out. I know, I gotta say, you guys are my favorite. You guys usually communicate back and forth pretty freaking well. So, like I said, I'm gonna put this out, get this started, get this going, and come back. But we'll get this started together for a second. Wow. All right. No. There we go.
Hello and welcome. This presentation is the extended version of the presentation I gave at the European Association of Social Anthropologists at Stockholm University this past August. It's called Understanding the Rise of the 21st Century Flat Earth Movement from a Bundle of Popular Conspiracy Theories and Science Skepticism. So my objectives are to understand the modern flat earth movement from the inside, engaging personally some of its key proponents. And I'm working towards a study of epistemological transformations, that is, how people shift their ways of thinking, being, and feeling. Gregory Bateson's discussion in Mind and Nature, Necessary Unity, especially the question of tautologies and abductions. And I'm also testing my own paradigm, which is called creative critical reflexivity, and the theory of epistemological resonance, which applies concepts such as concordance and discordance to look at epistemological harmonics, and how discordance leads to a creative resolution that we can look at as growth and transformation. Epistemology here is simply a way of being and knowing. Everyone has their own way of thinking and knowing, unless they follow a particular orthodoxy and authority that is telling them how to think. And in anthropology, we have deconstructed this for a long time. The experiences and narratives of flat earth proponents are prime examples of epistemological transformations and their social and personal consequences. Like Bateson, I am concerned with changes in basic epistemology, character, self, and so on. Quoting him here from 1979, page 143. In a nutshell, tautologies are collections of linked concepts or vocabularies that we use to produce logical explanations. We engage in what Charles Sanders Peirce called abduction when we flesh out explanations that ensure the validity of the links in the tautology so that this logic seems self-evident. Again, following Bateson. Epistemological transformations are interesting because they involve shifting our whole system of abductions, as Bateson put it. We face the threat of chaos when we challenge our own assumptions and preconceptions. This is what I call a state of epistemological discordance that may lead to epistemological growth and transformation. And again, epistemological means simply way of being, and resonance is the think-feel vibration that everyone has. So my idea is that as we live and try to understand the world, we are vibrating in ways that reflect how we think. So this resonance is like a singing a tone, is the sounds of our souls when they meet and engage. To engage in an abduction is to describe some event or thing and then look around the world for other cases to fit the same rules that we devise for our description. This is why it is particularly prone to deception. Because we have a way of thinking about the world that you haven't analyzed critically or reflexively, and you go around finding phenomena that fit your description. So why am I looking at the flat earth? The flat earth has had incredible growth in popular interest, and this is a graphic from 2010 to 2018 from Google Trends, comparing flat earth with anthropology on YouTube. And here we see that anthropology barely exists in contrast with Flat Earth on YouTube, since the Flat Earth started booming in 2015. This graph from Google Trends shows web searches worldwide. And here I'm comparing Flat Earth, ethnography, social and cultural anthropology. The colors are on top. You can see Flat Earth is blue.
What up? Thanks for being here.
This data started being collected. It was.
I just want to stop and say really quick, you know, one thing that is changing that is why they're starting to literally block a lot of flat earth stuff. Oh, you're still on the road, bro? Shit. Are you heading here? Hurry up, get your ass here. We'll play a game of pool. Have a beer. No. You know, one thing that I keep laughing about and I keep thinking, you know, I was listening out to Flat Out Elected, and when he had talked about, you know, the people that say, you know, get your religion out of flat earth, it's kind of like, no. Excuse me? I'm sorry, because the first word ever spoken about flat earth was in the Bible. So for you to sit here and tell me to get my religion out of flat earth, here's the thing is, your atheist ass would sit there and tell a Christian to get his religion out of, yeah, he is good. But you would sit here and tell somebody to get their religion out of flat earth. But guess what? No Christian flat earther would ever tell an atheist to get out. There, and that is the difference between us and them. And no, I'm not saying any of us are better. Well, we know that we are. I know that's it. I'm not trying to be arrogant, but sorry about their luck. You know, that's just not who we are. We're all inclusive, and we want people to actually, you know, find their way, because we all know we were that person that heard it the first time and was like, that's the stupidest thing. That is literally the stupidest thing I ever heard. The earth is flat. That's stupid. And then, you know, I guess you could say we had the eyes to see, or just the interest or the arrogance and the cockiness to be like, this is stupid and I'm going to prove it wrong. And, you know, that's one of the biggest things about us being flat earthers. And, you know, even coming back to Christ, I mean, I became an atheist for a minute. I was born Mormon. My whole family is from Idaho. I was the only person born in California. We're all Mormon. I can trace my bloodline all the way back to Brigham Young. Yes. I shouldn't say it, but yes, that is my last name. But I can trace my bloodline all the way to Brigham Young. And guess what? After that, all the way to the Mayflower. Literally, my ancestor supposedly got up, and this is actually documented even on the fucking History Channel, which is the funniest thing, which makes me even laugh. I mean, like, yeah, I know they suck, but no, I've had it traced back by relatives and all this. And supposedly, my dumbass ancestor got up and didn't feel very good while they were in the middle of a storm. Sales are down, obviously. And the idiot ass motherfucker goes up. I don't know if he's going up to throw up or whatever, but he's on deck and he gets flung over. And since they were actually just sitting in a storm, he was lucky enough that the waves just kind of brought him back to the ship. They pulled him up, you know, freezing, you know, blah, blah, blah. But he survived. And that idiot came on to his ancestor and being Brigham Young, and I think 3 or 4 presidents came out of that bloodline. So yeah, I even have that. Not like that I care. Not a Mormon. I'm a fucking Christian. But, you know, when you just look about all the way back to these things and you realize, like, you're meant to be here. Everybody's meant to be here for the moment that we're at. And I know I've gotten a little off fucking topic and rant. But, you know, everything comes back to flat earth. And when, you know, and it's the most irritating thing. My roommate that used to live here for like fucking 6 years, he's been gone for 6-7 months. He had to come back to get some medical stuff done. And he literally he never wants to talk about flat earth. He always tells me that I'm stupid, this, that, the other thing. Finally, I'm doing a live feed, whatever. He comes and some dude leaves his phone number. My buddy, like, I write it down. I'm like, okay, and then I erase it off the thing. My buddy calls it. Well, my roommate that is staying here for 2 weeks till he, you know, moves back to where he's going. He calls him, and they just sit and talking. And I'm not joking. I tried to talk to him about flat earth for like 2 years. He told me I'm stupid, this and that. All of a sudden, he starts listening to this guy talk about flat earth. And at the same time, he's like, "Oh, you're so much cooler and smarter than Jonathan because you know he sits there and he tells me that he's just right, and at least you say that you could be wrong about flat Earth." And I'm like, "Okay, Jason." I'm like, "I say that I could be right or wrong about a lot of things, but flat Earth, those are the bedrock. That's the granite pillar that I stand on that I know is true." I'll read your comments in a second. So it was so hard because it was irritating me that I'm like, dude, you're so stroking this guy's freaking, ego. Not his ego, but you're listening to what he's saying and you're paying attention, and I love it. But it irritated me so much because I've tried to tell him. And then he's sitting there like, yeah, Johnny just always tells me that I'm stupid and this and that. And I'm like, you're so lucky that you're crippled because if you weren't, I would cripple you. No, we have a brother relationship. He tries to hop out of his scooter and attack me. It's fucking hilarious. Love the guy. But he's always talking shit and thinks everything that I learn and try to do is just moronic. And then all of a sudden he's talking to some dude that he doesn't even know. And he's like, oh, you're so much more enlightened. And so I'm like, it took everything I had in me not to blow my fucking top. And so at the same time, I'm like, I've been trying to get you to listen to this for fucking how many years? And all of a sudden you came home while you're staying here, for 2 weeks. And you came home tonight fucking wasted and you're listening. So I just let it go, but it was one of the most irritating things ever for the longest time. But I let them do the live feed. He asked the same question 8 times, and the guy had to. It was just the guy did a great job, an awesome job. Fucking, I gotta give him credit. All right, sorry. It's more about Christ than my Greek. Shit, I'm going through another bad zone. Uh-oh, lost you. Hopefully I didn't lose you. Maybe he'll come back. All right, I'm going to go back to this and let this get going, but I will try to come back out. I was just very not impressed, but irritated because it irritated me because I know I'm just yapping about this, but it got me to the core because it's like, you son of a bitch. You constantly talk shit and tell me that I'm stupid and insane and insult everything that I tell you. How do you know this? How do you know blah, 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 whatever. And then he's sitting there just acting so sweet and so nice to this guy, going, he just always calls me that I'm stupid and I'm this and that. And I'm like, ugh! And I'm sitting there having to try to feel like I have to defend myself about this shit. And I see myself doing it. I'm like, you just seem like an asshole. Because he's totally gone docile. He's drunk. Usually not docile. Fucking hilarious. It was whatever. Alright, I'm gonna get back to this. I could not help but bring that up because it was so fucking irritating. But it was very, I don't know. It was awesome. I've left up the video. It's funny.
Anthropology somehow. And then in 2015, 2016, Flat Earth just basically boomed. This is worldwide web searches, and the red shows ethnography as a field of study and how it has been on the decline, sort of a steady decline, you can tell. So it is a popular phenomenon that we should be looking into as anthropologists interested in all social phenomena. This is pretty big. Now, my methodology. So far I recorded 20 conversations with over 38 hours. I was in Portugal and Brazil when I talked to people who are in the United States of America, Canada, United Kingdom, Spain, and Nepal. Some of the obstacles for studying the flat earth phenomenon and the movement are, that there are millions of videos, pro and con. And so I decided to do this on a face-to-face online approach through Skype and Google Hangouts. Many people were not up for talking. And I had to prove that I understood their line of thinking before they accepted me and talked to me. For gaining access to my participants, I had to pledge never to misrepresent or pathologize their positions. It's absolutely key. It's a part of very important anthropological ethnographic ethics that I follow. Initially, this resistance to conversations is due to the attacks that they receive on a daily basis by people who disagree with them. Here are some examples of emotional attacks, hate speech, and marginalization that flat flat Earth proponents face in
That's
their
why we got
public
thick skin.
campaigns, particularly
You gotta have thick skin, brothers
there's a
and
lot of tension
sisters.
and friction and reactionary emotional responses from outside the movement and within the flat Earth movement as well. People get very emotional.
Yes.
It is a test for our open-mindedness as anthropologists seeking to understand how people think, to really step back from all these emotions and try to understand how people change their minds, which is my approach.
Amen.
And how do they feel after this transformation? They characterize globe believers as basically brainwashed science fiction lovers who are having a Santa Claus, Easter Bunny is not real kind of moment. They also call it as a cognitive dissonance reaction. They're faced with information that they don't want to process, and then they lose it and start calling people names, and they would not be able to step back and reflect, to analyze things with an open mind. Flat Earthers question NASA, most importantly, and they're skeptical of everything or anything that NASA does, because the idea is that once you're caught lying, you cannot be trusted. They believe that they have caught NASA lying in many instances. This meme is from ODD TV. I unfortunately did not have a chance to talk to him. It's an interesting example of the art that's coming out from the flat Earth movement. And there's also music and other things.
We're winning because we're not stupid.
By the Flat Earth podcast.
We win mean more because we have a brain.
And this is one of the things that many flat earthers say, is that condemnation before investigation is your admission to indoctrination. Here are some of the participants in my research that I spoke to extensively, up to 5-6 hours. Some of them I spoke to only 2 hours. Here you can see the need to remain prolific and engage. For example, Jeranism has 324 original videos. I think probably some of them are mirrored. Mark Sargent has 1,200 videos, and many of them are mirrored, but he's very active. You see that they have a lot of views collectively. So, also, Mark Sargent told me that when he was in California, he was invited to the house of the main star of the sitcom to discuss Flat Earth. He indicates that it is going mainstream, and there's a lot of people who are considered in the closet Flat Earthers. A number of my research participants are also radio hosts at Truth Frequency Radio, which is an internet-based radio. So Jeranism is based in California. He's a bookseller and former drugstore manager. Celebrate Truth is by Robbie Davidson, who's the creator of the Flat Earth International Conference. I only spoke to 4 Christians, and Robbie Davidson is one of them. Mark Sargent is a computer geek, I guess you can say, and Flat Earth freshman recruiter, as he put it. And Globebusters is a fairly popular channel by Bob Noto, an amateur pilot, expert at setting up satellite radio systems. And Mike Helmick is a former Christian pastor, video game designer, and programmer. Endeavor Freedom is one of Zen Garcia's channels. He has an Apache heritage, and he went on a vision quest, and he is an unconventional Christian that looks into many different ancient texts, which he discusses online. And some of my conversations with Zen are online in his channel, Endeavor Freedom. Paul on the Plane does not reveal his full name. This is a reaction a lot of people in the Flat Earth have to protect their families, to protect their work. And he's also a radio host, and his series of videos focuses on faking space. Wakey Wakey is Mark Knight's channel. He's a British, lives off the grid in Spain, and invests in cryptocurrencies. He's now working on an alternative education system for children, values one's sense of perception and intuition. And DITRH stands for Deep Inside the Rabbit Hole, and it is David Weiss's channel. Mike Helmick introduced me to David, and David introduced me to others. David is a businessman based in New Jersey and an enthusiastic Flat Earth proponent who sees the growth of the movement as an awakening. He's one of the hosts of the Flat Earth podcast, which now has over 120 episodes. Your Curveless Earth is Nathan Roberts' channel. He's a Christian. He's a son of missionaries to Melanesia and Guam, and a father of 5 children. The entire conversation I had with Nathan was posted on his channel, which is part of my approach to ethics. If anybody wants to have my conversation for their own use, they should. And he asked for it, so he posted immediately on his channel. And he tells me that Flat Earth almost cost him his marriage, but that his wife eventually converted after praying and asking for a revelation. Flat Earth Universe is Martin Kenny's channel. He's a UK-based researcher who focuses on what he calls the science of syncretism, that is, looking at every cosmological system in order to synthesize their teachings and relationships. Kenny does not believe that the Bible provides the ultimate truth, but he also draws on the Bible for information. So he's looking at all kinds of systems and trying to boil them down into something that he finds agreeable. And he has been on mainstream TV in the UK discussing various different issues. The last time was about the lunar landing hoax. Finally, Karen B. is a graphic designer, single mother, who lives in the central USA and is part of a research group, FE Core, which also involves Jaron, Bob Nodo, Mike Helmick, and formerly another participant, Chris Monk, who does not have an active YouTube channel and whose position has caused a lot of controversy and drama recently, which is not something I can get into in this presentation. And another person I talked to was introduced to me by Paul on the plane. His name is Steve Bruce Volkan. He's a Hungarian descended Australian helicopter pilot and flight instructor based in China, who happened to have been in Nepal when we spoke. And he's a born-again vegan. He does not have an active channel. Flat Earthers, once they go public with their beliefs, they face this universal experience of prejudice and marginalization for taking their stance. It reminds me of Foucault's fearless speech, the idea of parésia, which is taking a social risk, speaking the truth in public. It has to do with the high social costs to support flat Earth information in public. So one may experience marriage problems. Some claim that they can only date a flat earther. There's threats to jobs. Some people have reportedly lost their job after people who were against the flat earth contacted their employer, told them that this person was a flat earther. The person lost their job. People don't reveal their actual names. Robbie Davison reported being expelled from multiple churches. Then we have the phenomenon of closeted flat earthers. And all of them agree that when you Google flat earth, you're going to go straight into a website called the Flat Earth Society. They all believe this is controlled opposition. So if you think of USSR, KGB, or governments that control information, China, for example, where you cannot have opposition, all you do is that you pretend to have an opposition. You infiltrate so-called opposition and you keep it controlled. You may also take a look at Pierre Bourdieu's book On Television, where he talks about this, television debates, how they're totally controlled and don't ever go deep into the information. This is a really good source for this. It's a very short book, Bourdieu said, because otherwise journalists would not read it, because they're lazy, really. So.
Old dog, new start.
Now, there's a history in anthropology of taking seriously alternative cosmologies. So in Hugh Brody's book, Maps and Dreams, indigenous hunters dream of animals that they will later hunt.
Their spirits would travel out of their bodies in the night and go onto the land and find the animals. They would dream the hunt.
BBC professor Bruce Miller received a visit from tribal ancestors in a dream that solved a land claims litigation case. You can read that in Extraordinary Anthropology. It's Bruce's edited volume alongside Jean-Guy Goulet. Professor Paul Nadazi from Cornell, working among Cree hunters, also experienced a maimed rabbit giving itself to him as a gift after being half trapped in Paul's trap. So Paul set up a trap. Rabbit came into the trap, got hurt, managed to escape, and then he was trying to enter Paul's cabin and seemed to beg Paul to break its neck and take it. Part of the cosmology of the creed that animals give themselves up to the hunter. Animals are not animals, they're persons. So they resist this language of managing and the practice of managing natural resources because these are people.
Despite the ancient origin of these laws, animals continue to enforce them. They also continue to communicate with human people by speaking to them in dreams, visions, and the occasional waking encounter. Also importantly, animals play an ongoing role in the political education of First Nation people by cultivating in them attitudes and interpersonal skills that they'll need if they're to assume their roles as fully competent adult members of a society that includes both humans and animal people.
And also in the work of Judy Cruikshank, Do Glaciers Listen, we see the idea that geological features are alive and responsive, and that is taken seriously. And also, we know that in anthropology, Franz Boas did a lot of work against the scientism of his time, which was eugenics, racialized based science, and he did so actually doing empirical research. He was against all these evolutionary rationalities which led in the United States to segregation, to the rise of the Nazi in Germany, the idea of a master race, and also we shouldn't forget the Tuskegee experiment, in which the United States government funded doctors to keep poor black Americans with syphilis so they could watch them die until the 70s. And then Clinton issued an apology, right? So we know that science without reflexivity and without morality is very, very dangerous. So there are other precedents for taking seriously the flat earth, and this is the notion of the counterintuitive globe that Professor Tim Ingold looked into in his book Being Alive, Essays on Movement, Knowledge, and Description. So he says that to grasp such a counterintuitive understanding that the earth is round like a ball and that people can live anywhere without falling off calls, it is argued, for nothing less than a complete conceptual restructuring of the child's mind, comparable to a paradigm shift in the history of science. Here he is referring to the idea that Galileo and Copernicus actually changed with their observations the whole narrative of mainstream science. And of course, you have to at least be slightly skeptical of the kinds of technologies they have at that time, because we have binoculars that are stronger than the telescopes that these guys were using, right? And yet we think that they really cracked some massive cosmological problem. And this is another question that we can go back to later in another presentation. Ingold also says that he cannot relate to the globe as an environment, because whereas the globe is measured and recorded, the environment is experienced. Following Gibson, Ingold says that the life world is spherical from the perspective of the inhabitant's core, which is different from the world divorced from life that is imagined in the form of a globe, as we are taught it exists, and that can apparently only be witnessed by leaving it. Ingold argues that whereas a global perspective is afforded to a being outside of the world and is seen to be both real and total, a local perspective afforded to beings in the world is regarded as illusory and incomplete. So he's saying that through our senses, phenomenologically, we can only experience being in the world and not outside of it, as the globe kind of proposes as a total final explanation. Also, he notes that Immanuel Kant would admit that to his senses the earth appears to be flat. James Gibson, who was an environmental psychologist, for him, an inhabitant is not on the outer surface of a solid sphere, but at the core of an unbounded spherical field comprised of the sky above and the earth below. So in the globe model, the relation between people and the world seems to be turned inside out for Ingold. Also, Martin Heidegger, as Ingold points out, repudiated the out-of-earth technology. These pictures are coming from outside of the earth that flat earthers believe is fake. But we should point out that Tim Ingold on Perception of the Environment, page 212, points out that he's not some latter-day flat earther or pre-Copernican. So we should just keep that in mind. Ingold read a paper by Wozniacki and Brewer from 1992, and this sparked a discussion regarding children's conception of the earth and their indoctrination into a different and unprovable through the census model, which is a globe model. So Ingold says that children are congratulated for agreeing with what was supposed to be the scientifically correct view, which is that, contrary to intuition, people actually live all around the outside of a spherical Earth. Again, this is from Hoax by the Flat Earth Podcast. This is a free book. It has a bunch of memes from flat earthers. And here they're just saying, well, look, you go up 100,000 feet and you cannot tell that there's a curvature, but you're supposed to believe that you are on a ball. This is the article that Ingold read from Cognitive Psychology, Mental Models of the Earth, a study of conceptual change in childhood by Stella Wozniacki and William Brewer. And here they're saying they're abstract. The synthetic models, such as the hollow sphere or the flattened sphere, are generated by children as a solution to the problems arising from the inconsistency between the initial model of a flat Earth and the culturally accepted scientific model of a spherical Earth. So what's happening here is that children are going to school, they believe the world is what they see, what they feel, which is flat, stationary, but the teachers are telling them it isn't. There's people upside down in Australia. And as they get convinced by the teachers without any physical, personal, experientiable evidence, they create different models like the hollow sphere or flattened sphere. They come to understand that the Earth is a sphere only when the presuppositions that gave rise to their initial models have been reinterpreted. That's what Wozniacki and Brewer say, and this is a large paper. It's about 50 pages. In anthropological studies of shamanism, as I'm referring to a book by Mircea Eliade, where he cites Knud Rasmussen's book from 1929, describing the phenomenon of the mystical light, night and distant vision. It is as if the house in which the shaman is suddenly rises. He sees far ahead of him through mountains, exactly as if the earth were one great plain, and his eyes could reach to the end of the earth. So, in shamanic experience, Eliade's book is a great example of this. You don't have a globe earth, you don't have a ball earth, you don't have a spinning ball earth. You have something completely different. You have the tree of life in the center, you have planes of existence, and it is a very complex book. It's a large book. It is outdated because it's from the late 50s, but it's still quite a source of information. Some of it's repetitive, but it is an incredible effort by Mircea Eliade. He actually lived here where I am in Portugal. Now, flat earth proponents, they evoke the idea of common senses to mean human sense perception and link reality to direct experience. They oppose the common sense of scientism, which is conformity to the pronouncements of self-ascribed scientific authorities, in particular theoretical physicists, astronomers, and NASA. For them, questioning science and making experiments is more scientific than accepting science textbook facts at face value. Michael Herzfeld, the anthropologist, also looked at common sense, and he argues that anthropologists are looking at different kinds of common sense from all around the world. But these common senses, if you will, are culturally based, they're linguistically expressed, they're kind of like the tautologies that I talked about in the working of abductions, if you remember in the beginning of the presentation. And the flat earth common sense is incompatible with what Herzfeld calls the evolutionary assumptions of the Victorian epistemology that is held to be in much of the Western world today. So there's this reflexive move in flat earth thinking that they have to look back how you learn what you learn, how you know what you know,
shit.
and start
You need a
questioning
boyfriend?
those presuppositions.
Really? You want a
It's very reflexive, anthropologically speaking. That's why it makes it quite interesting as a way of thinking. So they will tell you,
Antifa getting their asses
reason you
kicked,
cannot tell
really?
the earth is spinning
Is that what we want to watch?
It's not spinning. So again, appealing to the senses as a child with a ball, it's a very interesting spawned by the Flat Earth movement since 2015 and continues to grow. They will tell you that they're conducting laser gyroscope tests, and they look at the Michelson-Morley experiment and Airy's failure experiment.
All right, give me a couple
Once they
minutes.
prove that the Earth is not spinning, mainstream scientists would say otherwise. They have a different explanation for it. Again, if you don't do the experiment yourself, you cannot have your own conclusion. No, what you're seeing here is a time-lapse photography of a rocket launch, and most, if not all, flat earthers do not believe that rockets are going into space. This photo is not by a flat earther, it's by somebody who documents rocket launches, and here you see that the rocket's doing a trajectory going down. It's still in view. It didn't go straight up. It went in an angle and it's coming down. So this is a rocket launch trajectory curves that they say proves that these rockets are not going into space. For flat earth researchers and NASA critics, the rocket should be going up and out of view, while for NASA believers, it is the spin of the Earth that is causing the arc. Some people have looked at how children react to rocket launches, and this is the video that I'm going to show you right now. It's an edit I've made of a compilation of children and adults commenting on rocket launches that are happening in front of them. Let's take a look.
Right now, get incredible savings on Behr paints, stains, and primers exclusively at the Home Depot.
Is that a plane or is it the rocket? Was that the rocket lifting off? That's a noise. I've never heard it before. It's drifting. That's bad. Is it? Is that what always happens? Does it always go like that?
Yep.
It looks bad to me. It's in space, or is it? Is that it?
Yep, I think that's it.
Oh no, it's going down! It's going down!
Peter, understanding, is it turning or is the Earth spinning? It's not turning, the Earth is spinning. That's going straight up, so the Earth is turning. We're moving away from it.
Is that what always happens? Does it always go like that?
Yep.
It looks bad to me.
And here at the very end, you see that the rocket is obviously going down. So from the child's perspective, it is going down. It's not going into space. It looks bad to me. But the adults, of course, they are saying that the Earth is spinning and causing this to happen. So flat earthers would say that if it was going into space, it should disappear from your view, going straight up and not make a turn supposedly around the Earth. Another issue here is that this parable here would have to be corresponding to the curvature of the Earth, and the clouds are going down in the horizon in the distance. They would have to also be respecting this curve and turning around. So these spontaneous reactions of children, and you saw before, children basically screaming, it's going down. They see it coming down, and they say it's coming down. But the adults say, they laugh and they say, no, it's just spin of the Earth. So children are very skeptical. They doubt that these rockets are going to space. They think that the rockets are falling, while the adults interpret what they see as the spin of the Earth and the rocket going straight up. Now, in constructing the flat Earth story, people are using personal observations and tests. They're making selective critiques of mainstream science, and they're linking various truther conspiracy narratives in different personal ways. There are various heterodox positions, so you can't just say they're all like this, or they're all stupid, or they're all... because they will tell you that they've been on the other side. They were globe believers. They were believers in space travel, hyperdrive, anything you see in Star Trek and Star Wars. And they turn around to say these are propaganda sources. Star Wars and Star Trek are there to convince you that space space travel is real and to keep you trapped. And they go through a transformation which is sometimes very painful, and on the other side they feel light and free. So you see this a lot in how they explain their transformations. All of them in my sample are pro-science and anti-scientism. I don't think there's a leader or an orthodoxy in the flat earth movement. You have at the same time religious and secular flat earth believers. Many of them believe in something spiritual, a spiritual essence. Many of them believe the earth is created. Robbie Davidson, for example, told me that he has encountered many cases of people who were atheists and then through the flat earth became spiritualized. There's one flat earth proponent, this guy called Eric Dubay, an American yoga teacher based in Thailand, and he is usually repudiated for his pro-Hitler, anti-Zionism, hollow hoax or anti-Semite positions, and acts on other flat earthers as shills. Shills is this language of shaming or mistrust or distrust that exists within the flat earth movement that people accuse each other of being. Say they've been paid by the government to be there, all sorts of other things that some people call paranoia, some people call twitchy. Most of the people in my sample, they do not agree with these extreme views of Eric Dubay. And some actually lamented the fact that Dubay did not keep them out of the flat earth discussion. So next I will consider a selection of converging narratives that I called in this abstract for this conference presentation, a conspiracy bundle. And later some examples in what the flat earth proponents consider to be evidence.
So, it's your friend's birthday. How do you find the perfect gift? Download the Amazon app and let it find you. Just in your mom reading that book your friend's been talking about? Scan the barcode, buy with one click, and you'll get regular delivery updates. The Amazon app. What are you looking for?
September 11, 2001, the official US government story is false. This is pretty much agreed across the board. Some people think they shouldn't be brought into the flat earth discussion because the shape of the earth has nothing to do with these other conspiracy theories necessarily, but for many flat earth proponents, one of their early awakening moments had to do with realizing that September 11, 2001, the official story was not real. They believe that the mass media is controlled. There are scholarly sources for this. Manufacturing Consent, for example, from 1988 by Edward S. Herman and Noam Chomsky, talks about editorial bias, the switch between anti-communism into the war of terror, and the buying off of all the media companies. It's a classic book. One of my participants claimed that he was working for AMAC, which is a contractor, and that AMAC were involved in fitting the World Trade Center towers with explosives. They had a contract, he says that he received a threat to his family, and later he had a near-death experience and his whole life changed. This is another universal belief among flat earthers that the Apollo missions and the lunar landings were faked, that NASA is a production company, that there has been weather manipulation and geoengineering without consent from people, and this has been in the United States Congress actually. There are so-called scientists saying that they should be spraying aerosols in the atmosphere to reflect sun rays. You can see here just the documents from the United States Congress. Many flat earthers are against the idea of aliens. They think it is something concocted by the government to keep people afraid. They also do not believe that there is an outer space in the way it's being told by, say, Carl Sagan or Neil deGrasse Tyson or Michio Kaku. They do not believe in ancient aliens, but some of them think that extraterrestrials are in lands beyond the Earth, but on the same plane as the Earth. One of my participants sent me this patent that you can find. You can just search and find it and read for yourself. You can see here on the left side, the classification is a directed energy weapon, device that direct a beam of high energy content towards a target for incapacitating or destroying the target. It is also used for deceiving or protecting, which is kind of interesting use of double think. Many flat earthers believe that Dr. Judy Wood's Where Did the Towers Go? Evidence of Directed Free Energy Technology on 9/11 is a very important book. They talk about Building 7, controlled demolition, and many of them are also no-planers. This is the idea that the planes that people saw in the mass media were put there by graphics, computer graphics, 3D modeling, and they would say that the plane should have fallen outside the building, it can never have penetrated. And one particular piece of data that they show is from a helicopter in the distance. It zooms into the building, the plane comes in, the building explodes, and then the plane comes out the other side of the building. The nose of the plane comes out looking exactly the same as it came in, and there's people do a pixel analysis, put a pixel next to another, they grab the nose of the plane coming in and the nose of the plane coming out, and it looks exactly the same. So they say that the plane could not have possibly gone through the whole building like that. The steel should have destroyed the plane before it could go through the building. It's like throwing an egg at the wall. Imagine that the egg's going to go through the wall. So that's kind of, in a nutshell, the no-planar position. And there's some other evidence that they show. Now, back to the conspiracy bundle. What else? There are secret societies in government, Illuminati, so-called Illuminati, and Masons. That there are Easter eggs in Hollywood films, and this is some of the most intriguing, very interesting sort of symbolic theories. Easter egg is the idea that something is hidden, that when you find it tells you a secret. There's a recent film by Steven Spielberg in which the main theme is Easter eggs of the whole film. Rockets are going nowhere. I covered this. Von Braun was a Nazi. He was responsible for deaths of many people in a death camp where he produced a rocket that was then launched into London and Belgium. And then he was taken by the United States, promoted by Disney, and he was pardoned or forgiven because he sent humans to the moon, supposedly. Therefore, it's okay if he killed a lot of people in Nazi Germany. That is the narrative that NASA presents for children. And this is something that Jaron from Jaronism has covered, and that it is in one of my 2 videos before I made this presentation about the flat earth. The video that has Darth Vader and Chomsky talking. Now, SpaceX is fake, they say, including the orbiting Tesla car. We're going to look into some of that. The Cold War was simply a 1984 style script to control the population with fear.
Goodness, you guys been
Now that has
talking a
been
lot here, huh?
terrorists,
The earth isn't flat. Well, I dare you to look into it.
Whatever you have in the mainstream media to keep the population afraid and dependent on the government. That's the idea. Now there's division.
Holy crap, you guys been fucking talking up a storm up in here. How's it going? I'm back. Sorry, guys.
Dinosaurs are more recent than previously thought. So some flat earthers think that dinosaurs are definitely.
How's it going? How's it going?
Others think that they were real and they cohabited with humans. And some believe the mainstream story that they were.
Give a thumbs up, guys. Supposed to help with the algorithm. Help a brother out.
Because that is not relevant to whether you can see the curvature on the Earth or whether or not you can see too far ocean level or by your lake. So if you can see 50 miles away the shoreline of another place, you couldn't be on a curved sphere because that place should have been under the curvature. This is by far the most common test that people are making in this movement. Now, to the question of Easter eggs. So as I said, it's a theory that there are clues hidden on films about various conspiracies, including 9/11 and the moon landings. One of the most important
What the hell? I get here now. Nobody's got nothing to say.
that supposedly
What
has
the fuck,
these
guys?
clues is Stanley Kubrick's 1980
I guess I deserve it.
adaptation of Stephen King's The Shining.
You should.
There are several changes to the original book. For instance, there's an autobiographical element to the book that then gets transferred to Stephen King.
All right,
to
what are we
Kubrick.
fucking? What
So
are we
the
doing?
idea here is that Stephen King is writing about himself, and Kubrick was also writing about himself, and therefore he modified the novel in ways that pissed off Stephen King, because Stephen King hated the film. And this is
All right,
part
Ann.
of the
Annie,
thematic
you
that
still here?
appears in Steven Spielberg's film Ready
What
Player
up, bro?
One from this year, which points to Kubrick's adaptation of The Shining. So
Annie, you
there's a
still
whole
here?
scene which involves
Hey.
finding a clue, an Easter egg,
Flatfish,
inside
what
the
up?
set of The Shining.
Earth isn't flat. Bob, I'm telling you, the earth is flat, brother. I'm going to tell you this one thing right now. I understand it's the craziest thing. Bob, if you're still here, I hope you're here. All right, I'm going to tell you this. Look, nobody wanted to... oh, what up, beautiful. How's it going, Ann? Nobody wanted to become a flat earther, Bob. I'm going to tell you this. Nobody wanted to become a flat earther. It was the stupidest thing that we ever heard. And then guess what we did? Decided to take a little bit of time, a little bit of energy, and actually go at it with an open mind and try to debunk it and try to prove that it was wrong. And guess what? Nighty night. Oh, night, Ann. Nobody wanted to become a flat earther. They tried to debunk it and they could not. And if you have half a fucking brain, you come to understand that. I laughed so hard when I stopped laughing. Nobody wanted to become what we are. We've become that because it's the fucking truth. There is no more, there is no less. And if you actually took half a fucking minute to look into it, you'd be surprised. It does not take much to find out what the hell that's going on. Yeah. I better not do that one. That'll get my channel flagged. 1 second. So what do we want to look at, guys? I know I had some stuff, but just had not had the time to go through videos and find stuff to go. So tell me what the hell you guys want to look at. I do have some stuff. Connect the dots. I already dropped that one. Done. Okay, where's the one that is my ex-husband refuses to research flat earth. Hey, you know what's funny is, I don't know if whoever watched the video, I let my old roommate that's staying here for a couple weeks go off like on a tangent with a new sub that I had. He gave me his number and I wrote it down and my roommate just called it and it was hilarious. They were nuts and it was so fucking funny. What up? You're back. How's it going, girl? What the heck when I came out here before, did I see you making a message you need a boyfriend? Come on. I'm sure you should have 20. Well, I don't mean it like that, but I'm sure you should have 20 guys knocking at your door. Hold on. I don't know. Like, I'm sorry I wasn't out here, but I noticed there was a whole bunch of angry comments. Yeah, I don't know what the hell people's problems are. So what's up? You want to look at some angry, idiotic Antifa? Is that what? Let's have some laughing, right? All right, everybody, give me a damn thumbs up. So it's help with the algorithm. Best of Antifa fails. And they're all like, okay. Here we go. This one's only a month old. This video. I don't know. We'll see what happens. What the hell? Well, we'll see what happens. Here we go. Whole point of what? Yeah, Antifa are mostly black. Yeah, right. White kids out of. Yeah, I heard that too. That was the. Yeah, you did a great video on that, Annie. Oh yeah, you changed your name. I'm just gonna call you ass now. No. I know it's Annie. That's why I called you Annie. Don't worry, I won't call you ass. I know I call you Ass Jolie. How about that? No, I'm just playing with you, girl. These people are so stupid. Oh, come on, you're hitting the cops too. They don't want that. That's fucked up. That's like, dude, you're hitting. He hella hit his own guys. It's like, dude, I know they got armor on, but. Oh, I'm a dick for laughing, I know. Flat earthers blocking my road. Blocking the road. No, they're not flat earthers. They're called Antifa. Oh my god. Oh, Joey Gibson is the shit. Exactly.
Stay together. Stay tight. Don't go off and do your own shit. Okay, you guys got that? Do that? Yes.
See, hold on. Okay, I don't know why they added that in there. Joey Gibson is not with Antifa, so I don't know why that was added in like that. But Joey Gibson is the shit. So, but yeah, he is not of Antifa. I just want to make sure that's clear. Oh, crack!
I stole his property.
Dude, you know, okay, what irritates me about these freaking bastards is they say that we're the racist when our group usually has the most diversity in it. These Antifa fuckers are all little white kids that are privileged that live in mommy's basement that, you know, makes hundreds of $1,000s a year. That, you know, and college professors that like to hit people with bicycle locks when nobody's freaking looking. You know, that's who the hell is coming out. And they're calling the other side racist when the other side is more mixed with the Donald Trump side or the people that are on the right or just the people that are against Antifa. I mean, even reporters that are, you know, not on any side get the shit kicked out of them and they end up going over to Patriot Prayer or Joey Gibson and, you know, people like that to protect them. You know, it's freaking insane. Have you ever seen the video of a guy getting red pilled because he is white? And he was like one of the few white people and everybody else was like Mexican and whatever on the, you know, whatever, talking about that everybody's a neo-Nazi. And since he ended up being one of the only white guys on their side, they literally kicked him out and chased him over to the right side. That kid got red pilled. That's fucking funny as fuck. You know, but that's how they are. They're the left. They're eating themselves. And it's going to get worse and worse. And it's just the arrogance of these people to call us the racist. I mean, I'm German, Irish, Scottish, Italian, Basque. I mean, well, you know, thank good. That's why I get a nice tan. That Basque geek I got me, and Italian. But you know what I mean? It's not about being white. It's about being Western. It's about being American. It's about fucking having that understanding of what you expect out of a society and the normalcy of this. Not all these crazy people that don't want to come here and assimilate. I mean, give me a fucking break. They act like we're the racists. I mean, what, over 500,000 white people fucking died to free the slaves? And we're the fucking racist? And we don't have a culture? It's fucking arrogance. Pardon me. There we go. Thanks for the thumbs up. What up? Thanks for everybody being here. I love you all. Oh, Tiny is the shit. I love Tiny. Tiny is the shit. Tell him, Tiny. Love Tiny. Anybody that doesn't know who this guy is, this guy used to go up and beat up Donald Trump supporters. And then he wanted to infiltrate these white supremacists that he heard about. So he heard about Joey Gibson and this Patriot Prayer, and he is like, I'm going to act like I'm part of them and go with them. And he went with them on their trip, and he got to know who they were and where their hearts were, and they saw how the other side was and how they tried not to fight back, and they just wanted to be peaceful and love God. He realized he was on the wrong side. This man, Tiny, he is the shit. Amen, brother. Damn right, down our fucking feet. That's fucking right.
Hey guys, if we get Maddie over here, he got a screwdriver on the back of his head. He's bleeding. Bring him here. We got Maddie here. I'll assault him with a weapon. Medic.
You know, the funny thing is, though, about all of this, if you notice that Patriot Prayer and all these people, they don't get violent. They defend themselves. If they're going to, you know, hit you, beat you, do this, they defend themselves. But they're not the violent ones. That's, you know, the main thing of it. Oh, here it is. All right. So I have this video on my channel. So I know everybody enjoyed this. Hold on. Are you ready to be inspired? This is what I used to have. This is what I used to listen to, and I still do. But I upload this on my channel. This, hold on, sorry guys. This, seriously, it will be this. If you are any kind of a patriot and you care, this will be one of the most inspiring videos that you've ever fucking heard in your life. Beat up girls all the time, but I haven't done it in a while. Would love to be the shit out of me, one of those punks. You know what I always laugh about is when I go into the store. Losing my voice, sorry. Drink a lot of sake tonight. When I go into the store and I see those girls with the short purple hair, blue hair, or, you know, the group of the fucking, you know what I'm talking about. And I'm like, damn it, why am I not wearing my fucking Donald Trump hat? All right, look, most inspiring speech ever, I'm telling you. I have this on my channel. It's probably fucking 150 videos back, but
walking around over in the
listen.
back, listen up, everybody. Listen, as you can see, we have protesters here today. As you can see that, and you know what? That is an awesome thing. That's what America's all about, is it not? Is it not? It's about having the right to say what you want, to show what you feel, without the worry of oppression from a tyrannical government. And even though half of these guys are communists, and they're just begging for a huge government to tell them what to say, tell them what to do, tell them what to wear, they're still here practicing their fundamental right, which they would never have in a communist government. So we need to be respectful. We need to be respectful. Understand this.
Don't worry, Annie. There's some good Antifa beat-ups.
So it really highlights why we're here. Do you understand that? Okay? That's why we love this country. Okay? How boring would it be if we just walked around always in agreement? Right? No argument, no debate, no conflict. Basically, one giant safe space. Okay? Not gonna have it. Now listen, this is what fundamentally makes us human, all right? This right here. You guys, the protesters, it is the drama, it is the excitement, it is the passion, okay? But we don't have to, we can have that.
No comment, Flatfish. I'm not going to go there right now.
Without the disrespect. We can have it without the name calling. Do you guys agree with me? Because I am sick of the hate, and I'm sick of the being treated.
This guy's running for Senate,
because
people.
I believe in God, because I'm a Christian, because I support freedom. I'm not going to stand down to that anymore. No more. Now understand this, these kids, and they are kids, I don't mean that to be disrespectful, but they are kids that dress in all black, and they're aged anywhere from 14 to 21. And understand this, they are angry, they're pissed, they're upset. Just understand that they came from a different background from you. Okay? And we don't have to waste our time on them. We don't have to waste our time yelling at them. It's not even worth it. It is the same group of kids who go all over Oregon, all over Washington, and here's what they do. They want to piss you off. They want to drag you down to their level. And I want to know, are you going to give them what they want? They want to see you pissed off. They want to see you yell. And hopefully they want to see you throw a punch, get it on film, and they can put it all over YouTube. Okay? The question is, are you going to give them what they want?
No.
Understand this. They're starving for attention. I feel bad for them. And if there's anything I can do to help them, I don't hate them. But they're starving for attention because they have none. They latch onto our rallies because they have nothing. They don't have a movement. They can't throw their own rallies. Do you understand that? They cannot. They cannot. Because like 10 or 15 people show up with their faces covered, angry and pissed off. But that's not what we're about. So they will always latch onto our rallies because they need to feel significant. And understand that while they want to focus on race, they are obsessed with race. They're obsessed with your gender, your sexuality. We're going to look beyond that. because we are all Americans, each and every single one of you, and we all bleed the exact same color, and we are here to celebrate, to have fun, and to unite for freedom, and to take this movement well past 2024 after 2 full Trump terms.
You don't agree with Trump into the words that he's saying of love. I just want to say that to you guys.
Thank you. All right, we're gonna open
His
up with
words of
prayer.
love.
Lord, thank you so much for bringing everybody here. Protester, Trump supporter, it doesn't matter. Thank you for this beautiful weather. And Lord, I just ask that you breathe your life into this country. You breathe your life into this city. And you just open the hearts and minds of everybody here today. Everybody, it doesn't matter who you are, because no one is better than the next person. No one is. We know
I love
you
that.
love each and
Love
every
you.
single one of us equally. And we just like to thank you. And please give these speakers the strength to say what's in their heart. In the name of Jesus Christ, amen.
I hope soon.
Quick thing, Marlon James Band. We gotta support this guy, because understand this. Not only is he a great musician, but I put out a bunch of bids for musicians to come and perform.
Watch
here.
how these guys
And I
get
got
so
a bunch of
pissed
phone
off.
calls back
Watch.
Like, oh, I support your movement, I support what you're doing, but I just don't want to be blackballed. This guy's the only one that emailed me out of excitement. He couldn't wait to come here and perform. Support him. He's got shirts for sale. Look him up. If he's ever performing, go there, get a drink, cheer for him, because this man's a patriot. He's doing his duty to come here and perform.
Thank you guys for being here.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proud
I'll give you that, Flatfish. You're right.
at the twilight's last gleaming,
Listen to this. The heat.
broad stripes
Heat.
and bright stars through the
In the name of Yeshua. Yeshua Yamashiach. Damn right.
for the land of the
Oh, we're losing people.
and the home of the brave.
We're about to try to storm the stage here in a couple minutes, I think.
All right, let's hear it one more time for the Marlon James Band.
You guys look him up. He's in Washington.
We need to
He's
be
running
better
for
about
Senate.
in our country, in our communities, is we need to be grateful for the things we have. We need to be thankful. We've become spoiled Americans. It doesn't matter if you're a child or you're older, we forget about what we have. We take everything for granted.
Thanks
And
for the
one
thumbs
thing
up.
that we've
Love
taken
you.
for granted, absolutely, and they've been under attack for the last 8 years, is we have no respect for our police anymore. Absolutely. I understand there's always going to be a bad police officer here and there, but for the rest of the 99.9%, we need to show that we're grateful for. So if you see any of them today and you have an opportunity, you shake their hand and you thank them. But can I get a huge round of applause for our police department?
I wish 99% of them were awesome. But there are good ones out there. There are.
Quick show of hands, I want to see who's in the crowd. Can you please raise your hand if you are a veteran? Thank you. Hey,
Watch
now that
this.
you guys showed who you are, can you please come up here just
This is
a second?
adorable.
Come on up here, please.
No. Look at here. I gotta get up here.
We've forgotten to take care of is our beautiful veterans. We have not been
Amen.
taking care of them. The VA just throws them in the back of the bus, just throw them on medication, and we forget about them. And that's not okay. We need to be thankful for what they've done. We need to be thankful that we have people that are willing to die to protect your families and to protect our Constitution and to protect our beautiful country, the United States of America. Let's hear it for them. All right, I don't know how many of you people.
All right, I'm sorry. Okay, look. Yes, lots of things are messed up with America. You want to know why it's messed up? Are the people running it. But to open our shit up and let everything turn into Venezuela is insane. Yes, our government is corrupt. Hopefully, here's the thing is, if Donald Trump gets impeached or Donald Trump does not figure this shit out, why do you think the prepping got so big? in Obama's last freaking term. People were ready for what was going to happen. So even if, they chose to have Donald Trump to be in there to make us a little bit less worried, because prepping cells have gone way down. People actually feel like there's a chance. But if they impeach Donald Trump or assassinate him, or he doesn't end up doing what he said he was going to do, you don't think we won't stand up? We are Americans. We have pride. We will. All right, I'm going to shut up.
What has been going on Patriot Prayer in the comments that I get. It is absolutely amazing. But you guys always come out to support me, and I appreciate it. It means a lot to me. One
He
thing
is
about trolls that's really funny, okay?
He is awesome.
And they go on there and they make a statement they think is the funniest thing in the world. They think it was so original, but we've heard it a million times. No, this isn't a KKK rally. No, it is not. I've heard that a million times. I'm sorry, I don't see the sheets. But I'll tell you one thing. One thing that liberals keep asking me, or the insults they make, they say, why do you guys continue to rally even though Trump has won? You're wasting your time. And I say, after the million time, I say, why do you guys continue to protest our Trump rallies after Trump has already won?
Amen.
But I'll tell you what, I will tell you one reason why we continue to rally. It is one fundamental reason. It is not the most important. That's a good one, but that's not the one I was going to say. And we continue to rally because it is fun. Trump supporters are one of the most exciting groups of people that I've ever met in my life. Filled with life, filled with passion. I absolutely love it. Okay? Now listen to this. I'll tell you what. When it is no longer controversial to support our president, then in these streets with my Trump flags triggering every single snowflake. When people stop yelling at us and cussing at us and flipping us off for what we believe, then maybe we'll tone it down. But until then, we're going to party and we're going to celebrate this movement towards freedom and liberty that God has bestowed upon this country. And we almost lost it. We almost lost it. I hope you guys understand that. I hate to sound so ominous. But for some reason, God decided to give us one more opportunity. This is why we cannot
Don't lose
stop
it.
this movement.
Don't
just
fucking
because
lose
Trump
it.
won. Because in the end, this movement is bigger than Trump. It is much bigger. Do you understand that? We do not worship Trump. We worship no man. But we are thankful for Trump. We're thankful for everything he does. But it's not about Trump. It is about the Trump is just the man that's making this movement possible. Amen to that. Because this movement, like I said, but hey, Trump, as long as he never charges back on us, we will never turn our back on him. As long as he continues to fight for the people, we'll continue to show our love and our gratitude. President Trump, you hear this? You hear this? As long as you continue to fight for us, we will always continue to fight for you. That is a promise.
I haven't heard of it.
Believe it. Yes, liberals. You see us?
Weird.
Yeah, we stand with Trump. Now get over it. Do you think that you social justice warriors can hold us down with your childish name
Nice.
calling? Are you serious? Do you think that you can shut us up just by pointing your fingers at us and
What
screaming
the hell? I went
racist,
from 6 to
racist?
3 in
It only
what,
works on
a half a
certain
second?
people. But it doesn't work on the Americans who are awake. It doesn't work on the Americans who are alive. And it doesn't work on the Americans who love this country. Because our love is bigger than your childish name calling. Our love is bigger and more powerful than your hatred could ever possibly be. Now I'm going to tell you, I'm going to give you a piece of advice. This goes to all you guys, you protesters, anybody. Piece of advice. This applies to everything in life, but it really applies to what's going on in our country right now. If someone is ever disrespectful to
Damn
you,
right, baby girl. Annie,
if they
it's,
flip you off,
oh
they
my
cuss at
god.
you, or whatever,
It's,
for what you believe in, for what you know to be
it's,
right.
you know,
Okay? You do not let them.
it's the biggest fight that has ever come upon our known civilization. I'm sure there's been big fights, but then people watch Hollywood and they watch all these people, and what's so funny is when you watch some of them walk onto the red carpet wearing a funny ass costume or whatever, outfit, you're like, oh, they're getting shamed, they did something wrong. And it's hilarious when you realize it's all Satanism that we watch on this Hollywood walk of. We're literally watching Satanism, and they're hating it because they're losing their ratings. Nobody's starting to care about them because guess what? The rebirth and the revival of the body of Jesus Christ, which is every single one of us, is fucking growing.
Bring you down, you let it go. You do not let it affect you. You let it go. Be thankful that you are not them, filled with hatred and filled with anger. Be thankful.
Sorry, hold on. I just have to say this. Dividing people is making 80-something genders.
You guys, you protesters, anybody, piece of advice. This applies to everything in life, but it really applies to Trump and what's going on in our country right now. If someone is ever disrespectful to you, if they flip you off, they cuss at you or whatever for what you believe in, for what you know to be right, okay? You do not let them bring you down. You let it go. You do not let it affect you. You let it go. Be thankful that you are not them, filled with hatred,
He has
filled
written
with anger.
prophecy,
Be thankful
Trump
that God
Pence.
blessed you with patience and wisdom, but mostly that God blessed you with love. There's no bigger
Trump
blessing than love.
Pence. The
no
trumpets
bigger
are sounding,
motivator than
bitches.
love. You can
I
literally
love
move
you all.
mountains with love. People believe that love is soft and weak, but this isn't true. There's nothing filled with more passion, nothing filled with more strength than love. Love is what motivates people to put their lives on the line.
So is Trump. He wants to make it smaller.
Gives a 140-pound mother the strength to lift a car
Amen.
above her screaming child to free her, which is real. You understand that there's actual cases where a car flips over on a mother's child and she all alone somehow has the strength to lift up that car, and that strength came from nowhere except for her pure love that she feels for her child. Because, ladies and gentlemen, love is the key, and we need to use it to unite this country. So do not respond to hate with more hatred. Do not respond with more name calling. Don't do it. Don't respond by yelling.
You know how many
Respond with
pedophiles have been
kindness
arrested
and
because of
respect
Trump?
and love, and begin to heal this country with your big heart that you got right here. Now let me clarify something about this movement, what I believe. This movement is about fighting the corruption that seeks to control you and your family, both through written law and through cultural brainwashing. The brainwashing
Yeah,
is
we will.
unbelievable right
We're gonna
now.
give them a
It is
chance.
brainwashing through the media, brainwashing through our schools and our colleges, and brainwashing through this disgusting entertainment industry. I am sick of seeing these celebrities stand behind these microphones as if we care what they have to say. Only a brainwashed zombie will put any value into what they've been saying. That's it. Is anybody here care about what Madonna has to say? Are you kidding me? Do you think she cares about our freedoms? Does she even know anything about the Constitution, where we came from, and the sacrifices our forefathers made to give us the freedoms that we're barely holding on to today? Now listen, this is why we need to continue to rally on nonstop, because we got to take this passion that you feel right here. Take this passion, and we need to convert it into a movement that turns our
Amen.
states red.
Amen.
We need a West Coast that is 2 out of 3 states red. We need it. Understand this. Understand this. I said this in my videos, but it is an absolute
Oh, thanks for the
disgrace
thumbs up.
that our beautiful Washington and our beautiful Oregon voted to put Hillary in the White House. Hillary Clinton is a criminal, and you need to take that personal. This is your state. Your state. Do not find it acceptable that you live in a state that voted to put Hillary in the White House. She's a criminal. Lock her up already.
Amen. Deporter.
This is a direct result of the brainwashing that we've allowed to happen in our states. We just stood by. We found it acceptable. We've allowed it to happen. Do not accept the fact that our states are liberal. It is not true. We need to stand up and we need to fight. And it starts now.
This guy's running for Senate, people. Look him up,
Now,
Joey
why do you
Gibson.
think that because Trump won one election, that the fight for freedom is over?
Hell no.
Hell no. We cannot become complacent. We cannot fall asleep like we did before. Never again. I'm going to say it a million times, but we cannot fall asleep because freedom is not given. It does not exist on its own. You got to fight for it. And when you get it, you got to fight to keep it. You got to fight, and you got to fight, and you got to fight. Thank God for our veterans, both the ones in the crowd today and the ones going all the way back to 1776. You think liberty or death is just a saying? Because it is not. It is a lifestyle.
Wait,
it is a belief.
you think
of
this is
order
all
and
hate
obligation
speech?
So that your children can be free, your grandchildren can be free, and your grandchildren can be free. Can I get an amen for our veterans? Now, there will always be evil forces, always. It's just a given. There will always be evil forces in this world that will try to control you and your family. Slowly and incrementally increasing their powers in the darkness of the night. It is always the darkness of the night, so you can't see it. You can't feel it. The temperature of the water slowly gets hotter and hotter and hotter until it's too late. The temperature, the water's boiling and there is no escape. Now these people, they don't care about you. They don't care about your families. They'll always try to control you because they cannot inspire you. That's it. They cannot inspire. They will dominate because they cannot lead.
Listen to what he's saying. They have to dominate because they cannot lead. We must stand up and lead. Saying, please, Flatfish, open your eyes and your heart and your understanding. Listen, please.
Joseph Goebbels, Hitler's CNN. Do you guys know who Joseph Goebbels is? That's Hitler's CNN. It was his job to basically massively lie to the German public.
Do you want me to look up, Danny?
CNN. And he said that if you repeat a lie over and over and over again, the public would begin to believe it. And I hope that sounds familiar to you guys. Because, ladies and gentlemen, we are living in an era of deception where we're constantly being bombarded by lies. Non-stop. The media in coordination say the same thing over and over and over again in hopes that we'll just believe it. In hopes that we're stupid enough to believe it. But the people at the top, they could not believe it when we stopped listening. They couldn't believe it because America woke up to the lies, and we will never again let them build a reality for us. Never again. We will think on our own because we are not zombies. We are not robots. You cannot just program us to say what you want us to say. You cannot program us to be who you want us to be. No more. All right, here we go. I'm almost done here. That drum's a great beat. I'm feeling the beat. I like it. It is our job to seek, it is our obligation to seek out those at the top. And they're doing nothing more but trying to put their boots on our necks. And we need to expose them for who they really are. Because there will always be. Stay calm, stay calm.
This is when they break in. When
got it, police has got it. It's fine.
These people are such idiots. They're fighting for what they hate, and they don't even know they're so brainwashed. These Antifa idiots, they're fighting again. They're fighting for what they hate, and they don't even see it. It's so sad. So fucking sad.
I don't think they like my speech. I don't think they like it. What's the matter, guys? You getting upset at what I got to say? Oh, you don't like my free speech? USA.
Alright, it's gonna get loud. I gotta shut my garage.
Alright, guys, bring it back over. Let's bring it back over. Let the children cry. Let them be upset. Let them be angry. Come on over. Here we go. Now listen. This is why we cannot fall asleep. We cannot just be spoiled Americans and forget about what we have.
I hope that in 5 years I'll be happy, but at the same time, you know, I am a Christian and I'm realizing the times that we live in. We are in the last generation. I think Trump's only going to give us our 7 years of plenty, and I think everything's going to go to shit after that. My God's honest truth.
Forget about how easily we can lose it. And trust me, we came this close to losing what we cherish
But,
most. This close.
hey, who knows?
They've been chipping away at us nonstop for the last decade, slowly.
But listen to his
incrementally.
message.
Just
He's
slowly.
not
And then
part of
they're gonna
the
put Hillary Clinton in.
system.
She was the last one to take us out. And what were we thinking? What were we thinking, huh? Well, the people at the top, we're just brainwashing our youth.
He's speaking a lot of truth,
We just sat at home,
Flatfish.
watching TV,
You know he is.
keeping our mouths shut, not doing a damn thing. Well, they slowly took away our country, slowly took away our freedoms, and slowly took away
the hearts and the minds of our children. Fuck that, right?
Listen, we can never fall asleep again. We have to be activists for freedom until the day we die. Because until God fundamentally changes human nature, the fight for freedom will never end.
I'm gonna throw up one of our friends' videos that was on
Thank God for our police,
next.
right?
I'm gonna throw one of Annie's. I don't think she's still on,
There's a
but
reason
I'm
why
gonna
you
throw up
guys
one
are
of her
here today.
videos.
There's an absolute reason. You guys are great people. You got big hearts. You love this country. You love your families, and you love freedom. The truth is,
Oh, yes, you are still here. Okay, well, I have one of your videos I like, and I'm gonna put that on next. It goes. It'll tell me 6 people are here, and then I'll go down to 1 person, and I'll say 0 people are here. So I never know how many people are here. I'm glad you're still here, love. Hey, you know what? Look, it's gonna be what it's gonna be because guess what? I think we got a reprieve. Even if Donald Trump, look at this. Even if Donald Trump was put there by, he's a part of the whole cabal, this and that, right? They had to put his ass there because they saw that the American people are standing up and we're starting to wake up. So even if they put him there to put us in a time of relaxation, people are still growing and learning, and we're opening people, we're red pilling people. People are opening their eyes. All right, sorry.
Amen, brother. Amen. Now listen, it is people like you here today that need to be the leaders. Do you understand that? Because you guys are beautiful. You're an inspiration. You got something in here the world deserves to see. You cannot hide it any longer because you guys are the leaders.
Hey, okay, sorry. You know what? Hey, Flatfish, seriously, usually everything that I do is a debate, but a lot of us are like, we love what's happening to our country, and we love to back our president. So usually everything is a debate, but I think this kind of was for everybody a feel good thing. So I think maybe that's a little bit of the heat coming.
Waters. It is not the Nancy Pelosi's. Are you kidding me? Watch out, we got a dead man walking. Halfway dead, full way stupid. See, the real leaders never want to lead. They don't want to. It is the weak and sad individuals. They're the ones always trying to climb to the top.
Oh, look at that. That looks a little Wyatt and Gianna, looks like to me.
That need to rise up and inspire your country
Love to
and
take them to
inspire
one
your
of those.
communities. No more excuses. Believe it.
That's what it's all about. You see those little guys? That's what it's all about, what we're doing here, people.
Don't you ever be ashamed.
It's okay. That's all right.
Standing up for what you know to be right. Do you understand that? Don't think you should ever be ashamed.
We're all here because we love.
Being courageous. That is it. So you need to stand and fight even when it's easier to keep your head down.
Amen. Amen, brother. We are the body of Christ. Stand up, my brothers and sisters. Realize your head will be chopped off and you will be crucified. You realize that nothing will scare you.
I had someone message me on Facebook and he said, I wish someone would throw a rally in my area. He lives on the East Coast. And I said, you do it. You do it. You cannot stand around waiting for people to do things. That's not the way it works. But here's the problem. Here's the problem with human nature. We always, when we start thinking about something we've never done before, we instantly start thinking about all the reasons why it cannot be done. But none of that's true. None of that's real. The truth is the only thing that stops you from accomplishing anything in this world is you. It is a belief that it cannot be done. Do you understand that? And that's it.
They're adorable, right?
You only need 2 things to accomplish anything in this world. 2 things. Number 1, you need to believe in yourself, which means having a positive attitude that it can be done, it will be done, no excuses accepted. Number 2, you need to have the drive and the desire, which means you don't ever give up. You don't ever step down. You don't ever let somebody tell you it can't be done. You'll never let someone drag you down. When you get knocked down, you get back up and you keep going forward. That's the state of mind we gotta have. How do you think Trump did what he did? Huh? Do you think if he had an ounce of self-doubt that he could have accomplished what he did? All the greed, all the corruption in DC did everything they could to drag him down. He never quit. Did you ever get the sense that he was gonna quit? No way. No matter how many times he was attacked, no matter how many times he was knocked down, he just kept going forward. He just kept fighting non-stop. Nothing ever stopped him. And that's the state of mind that we gotta have.
Amen.
That we gotta believe in.
Amen, brother. You're right.
No matter what. Now imagine 100 trailblazers.
Stellar.
Like Trump. Imagine thousands in Washington and Oregon locally who are connected and one network, having each other's back, supporting each other so that we can turn these states red, so we can get a West Coast that's 2 out of 3 red. Now imagine if you are an artist and you're good at drawing, That's what you're good at. That's how you can participate.
Okay, but hey,
you can build
I'll
logos,
wait
you can
till
build
it's
designs. If you're a tech guy, you can help us build websites. You can do your job because there's something that you're good at. And so my goal, I have a sign-up sheet right over here. And I have an opportunity for you to go and sign up and join this movement, and so we can network together, so we can begin to fight the corruption, both in Washington and Oregon, and we can make the West Coast 2 out of 3 red. Thank you very much. I appreciate your time.
Okay, hold on. Okay, yeah, that was great. Okay, so no. Don't. I understand that's cool. I'm saying not to interrupt or all that, but really not, because almost everything that I do is a fucking debate. That's what I do on this channel, is debate and let people have their plan. So I understand what you're trying to do and trying to be cool. And I had, kind of said, everybody on this channel, this is, kind of one of the times that we just all wanted to enjoy this and blah, blah, blah. That's fine. But no, nobody needs to be worried about leaving a message. You leave whatever fucking message or whatever thought that you have. If somebody freaking applies to it, if you want to talk to me, just put, Zedek, or just put Z, before your comment if you want me to comment. If not, and you guys are just going back and forth and you don't want me, and then I won't stop the videos as much. But never stop leaving comments. Leave whatever comments you want. Like, that was the one time out of 99% of the time that I make videos, everything is pretty much a fucking debate. That was one video that every once on a very blue moon that I play, that I'm just trying to inspire and show people. I think that's one of the greatest speeches that I've ever heard. I put that on my YouTube channel. Fuck, I think it was probably 9 months ago, if not a year ago. Probably that long. But you can go find it on his channel. Definitely Joey Gibson. You should look him up. He is running for Senate. And I want somebody like that to be a senator here. But we know it. Whatever. I don't live in Washington. I think Washington. All right. Well, so this is one of my favorites. She's been with me since almost the beginning, and I really like her work. Usually she'll do videos, but this is actually her doing just. There you go. Just giving her own 2 cents. And this is Annie, and she does awesome.
You guys see American people's pain and people's lives for ratings. Like, you guys know when we have like a bombing or shooting at a school, or that shooting in Las Vegas, all the bad things that happen in this country. And you see the media not just report on it, they overcompensate and report on it. They like report it, and they talk about 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 it. And then the next day they talk about it, and then like a week later they're still talking.
Yes.
And all they do is talk. The media never does anything to help. The media does never anything they put family on, and they use their tears and their pain to get ratings. And I mean, you saw it during the hurricanes. They would go out with their little with their cameras and their cameramen, and floods up to your house. Your whole fucking house is flooded, and they're over there not helping you get out of it, but they got a camera in your face talking about, how do you feel? What do you mean how I feel? I feel like I just lost my fucking house. I feel like I just lost my fucking life. Wait, how do you feel? But they get on their helicopter, and they go away. That's what's going on with John McCain. That's what happens in this country. They will not report any kind of real news. Do you know what would happen if the media would actually report pedophilia? Actually report people dying under the Clinton, for the like people who go out and try to research the Clintons or report on the Clintons, they end up dead. Lawyers, police chiefs, reporters, journalists, you name it, people are dying and they won't report it. If they would actually report the real news, you know how their ratings would be like absolutely out of this world. I mean, millions and millions and millions and millions of people. They won't do it. They won't do it. So the 3 million they get during a hurricane season, or the 3 million they get during times of tragic murders and shootings and loss of life in this country, they love it. They're like, more. Do you not think that they actually... Okay, guys, I mean, really think about it. Do you guys think that when these things happen, the media, it seems like one or another of the media is like right there. They're like just reporting from the street where it happened. How the fuck do you know what street it happened on? How do you know it was going to happen? And how did you know to have a reporter there? I'm just saying, like, look at the way they do this. John McCain, he comes out with this, I'm not going to get treatment anymore. 2 days later, he dies.
I don't think he died.
All over everything. His daughter crying, his wife crying. Everything is put out there. Then all the backstories from 4 years ago about John McCain resurfaced to the top of your YouTube feeds. Okay? And those are getting hits and hits and hits. They love this shit. They don't care about your life. If John McCain died, I don't know if he's dead. Who knows? Like, who knows? I've been looking into this cloning shit, okay, guys? I'm telling you, they can put your DNA and your mind into a body, and you can live forever. It's the fucking truth.
Hold on. I do agree. She's right. Annie, you are right about this. But I don't think they can get our soul into it. I think something is lost when they do that. All right, sorry.
Go look into Donald, man, okay, I'll put it in my link, I promise, guys, okay? Donald, he talks about it, being in the clone centers and stuff. I mean, it's just so hard to be awake.
Okay, I agree with everything you just said, CK, except for Flat Earth is fake. But yeah, all the rest, you're right. Sorry, do a little bit of research. NASA's fake. NASA, translated into Hebrew, means deceive or to deceive.
People around you are asleep and stuff, and it's like you just want to like shake them to wake them up, but you can't like choke the shit out of them. It's like, wake up, you don't understand what's going on in this country. And they're like, what are you talking about? Donald Trump is a racist. That's all they know. That's all these people know. And I'm going up to my sister's school to have like a meeting with these teachers who want to play CNN on the for school, like their school projects are playing CNN for the children. And my sister comes home and she's like,
okay, I'm sorry, I have to interrupt that. You said you were looking for a boyfriend, Annie. How in the hell do you have a problem getting a boyfriend? You're fucking adorable. Sorry, I keep interrupting your video.
That Donald Trump wants to what did she say? Trump wants to
Hey, bro, we're all trying to be here and be happy. You want to be a dick? You can go somewhere else.
Ban people from having free speech. And I look at her like, what? And she's like, yeah, they played CNN today, and the CNN anchors were like, they want to take our freedom of speech. So I had to sit her down, and I'm like, okay, the only people's freedom of speech they want to take, and I explained to her what was actually going on and what Donald Trump was doing. And she's saying that they were saying that the government wanted to like monitor our speech and stuff. And I heard CNN report that, I heard Google report that, and I'm like, and I heard him say we cannot be monitored by liberal big giant social media outlets. And I guess they're calling that he wants the government to, I don't know how they flipped it or switched it, but it's about the government. Donald Trump wants the government to oversee what we do online, and I don't think that's what he said at all. I mean, I could be completely wrong. If anybody has,
You're not.
Say it in the comments if I'm wrong. I don't think that's what he said. That's something else I heard Lift the Bell say too. That they had a whole thing like the government wants to monitor what we're doing online.
They already do.
What they're saying in schools and stuff. So I'm gonna go up there and ask, talk to them and be like, straight up, look. If you're going to report on Donald Trump, you need to also report the truth on Hillary Clinton and the left and socialism and, communism. Stuff that's bombarding our country right now. You need to be true. And if they say anything to me, I'm going to be like, what about Haiti? What about the children of Haiti? Do you not care? Do you not care about the children of Haiti that went missing? The children of Haiti that didn't get their money? The children of Haiti where she was supposed to help the children and she never did? What about that? You're not going to talk about that. We'll talk about everything else. We'll talk about stupid shit all day long. We all talk about that. It's dumb. And so that's what they're doing with this John McCain. I saw it on every newspaper, every magazine. It's how they do shit. Somebody dies, they love it. And it's like how many celebrities have died in 2018 that we haven't heard about. But as soon as John McCain dies, they're trying to overcompensate for him. He was a great man. He was an American hero. He was a wonderful person, a great father, a great husband, a great, and it's like, what about the child sex trafficking he covered up? What about the pedophilia he covered up? What about ISIS that he created? We're not going to talk about those things. We don't talk about those things. We just lie and hope that nobody fucking goes and does the research. All right, I'm out of here, guys. Peace.
All right, so here's our fucking problem here, people. You see that shit? You see that shit? Yeah, I don't care who the fuck has anything bad to say about that fucking beautiful girl right there. That's real fucking reporting right there. That's the saddest thing. We've lost real reporting. You see that right there? That was balls to the fucking wall going, this is what the fuck's going on. I'm putting my face out there. I'm putting my fucking heart and my soul out here, telling you what I figured out and what the hell is going on. And that's what we've lost. But that's why we're going to win. Excuse me. That's why we're going to win, because of girls like that. Because of people like that. Is that passion, that understanding that, you know what? I might just be me and I'm not sure exactly what I can do, but I can do everything I can to learn, and I can try to spread what word that I have. Because us disagreeing, somebody disagreeing with what we think, this is what my channel is for people to disagree. Because if we disagree with each other, we can actually talk. We can go through things, we can find things, we can work things out. And the ones of us that have truth, and I'm not saying I'm right about everything. I have my pillars of what I know is truth, but I know that I don't know everything. But for us to have discourse back and forth, to be able to talk to each other, to actually communicate. And that's why I do like it when people come on and they're kind of like, well, I don't really agree with that or this or that. That's great, because the best thing about that is if we can find something that we have the same ideals or the same understanding about, we can actually continue to have a dialogue. Because if you can find something that we agree on, we can go through there, and if there is somebody else that agrees on something with you that most people don't, you can have that dialogue and that understanding with each other that that obviously that person can't be that stupid, but yeah, they look at something else that I think is stupid, but they believe in it. Well, once you come to that understanding that you have that, you can actually start to build some kind of a relationship of trying to work through things and not agree on things, but actually listen to what the other person has to say. And that's what we have to do, because the world has been deceived. Did they not say that he would come and deceive the world? The world has been deceived. And anybody listen to this, you got to be somewhat of a truther. You got to know, 9/11 was a freaking inside job, this, that, and all the other things. But if all of that, and you believe that and understand that, well, all right. I'm just saying, Annie right there, that's what the fuck we need. Like, I don't think I'm anything fucking special. I like her passion, and I like how she is, and that's really something that we need. And without that passion, and those people that are willing to just put their head on the fucking line, like her, and her neck on the line, and here's me, this is what I think, this is what I know. And it's funny, like, I mean, I'm fucking dyslexic. Nobody here is saying they're a fucking genius or has any fucking anything. But why is it we have no college degrees, but we see what the fucking world is, while these people that are fucking in debt and smart as fuck don't see anything? Because the school system is working perfectly. Everybody thinks the school system is broken. That shit ain't broken. That shit's working perfect. Because guess what? It's making a whole bunch of brainwashed fucking kids think they learned something, when all they've done is make you think this way, and you have to come up with those answers in that question. They're making you a cog in the system that they can put anywhere, and that can just end up doing anything that they need. The school system is working perfect. That's the problem. All right. I guess I should find something else to play now, should I not? What do you guys want to listen to? But no, Joey Gibson, I'm telling you, look him up. That man is the shit. I would definitely stand shoulder to shoulder with him if he needed help, which I know he doesn't. What the hell is that? That's okay. That's disturbing. What the fuck? 1 second. Yeah, I'll read you guys the comments here in a fucking minute. Dun dun dun. I'm being a dick and make you wait. Oh, here's another great one. See, I think I might have put part of this in a video or something, but I'm not sure. But Annie did a really, really fucking good job with this one.
Hey guys, it's Annie. We're gonna look at the black eye today. In the last video, I was showing you that he
No, I didn't do the
was
black eye.
apologizing, and I noticed something about him. He had a black eye, and I thought, what the hell does the Pope have a black eye for? Well, we're gonna get into it. We're gonna break it down. But first, I want you to look at this guy behind this little weasel motherfucker. Look how he's mimicking the words the Pope will say when they ask him how he got a black eye. And here we go.
Innanzitutto vorremmo chiedere come sta, abbiamo visto si è fatto male.
Ah, beh, no, al momento no, ma mi sono schierato lì per salutare i bambini e non ho visto il vetro e boom.
Allora la domanda è questa.
Comprensione verso la nuova politica del governo di restringere sulla questione.
Hey, never forget World War II. Everything that happened there. I'm not saying none of it's true. A lot of it was a lie. And never forget, the victors write the history. Never forget that.
Okay, so what this tells me, looking at him mimic his words, is that this whole thing was scripted. You banged your head, that's what you tell him. We kicked your ass, whatever the deal was, and I'm going to make sure you say it. I'm going to stand behind you with the gun to your fucking
Okay,
back.
sorry, Annie, I'm pausing your video. But yes, CK, no, the school system is working perfect. It's making white, straight, male Christians. And it's not even about white, straight, male Christians, but yeah, they have to go after them. But it's literally about Western value Christian men that are straight, they can have family. They're trying to destroy everything that we are and everything that we have. They're killing religion. We live in the last days. We are the last generation, my brothers and sisters. Realize your heads will be cut off or you will be crucified. Realize that will happen to you. Let it go. And then nothing can scare you.
I'm going to mimic your words, and
Sorry.
you're going to say what I tell you to say. This is what this shit is right here. This is like the mainstream media Mockingbird shit right here. You say what we want you to say. Okay, I'm going to get into this now, guys. All right, guys, so let's get deep. Let's go deep in this shit, right? Here's how Francis Pope got, and you just heard him explain how he got his black eye. We're just going to kind of go through some stuff here. Linux black eye, ouch. And I started to think, why do these people have black eyes? This Pope, the last Pope. Well, this shit's weird. And it goes into some weird stuff, but we're just gonna look. There's a black eye. Pope Francis black.
Okay, do you see what this is? Do you see what this is? This is real journalism. Somebody's doing their due diligence. Does anybody see? I hope everybody sees this.
Guy
Sorry.
tells us how, and you guys just heard his bullshit talking about it, right? So I saw an Obama black eye, and I went in and I thought, what? Black eye? Why does Obama have a black eye? This is a trend, guys. We're gonna keep going. Does someone give Obama a black eye? Weird. And then here they are. Every politician, always the same eye too, guys. Look at the eye. It's always
Sorry, Annie.
right.
Because our country's been taken over by Masons and Satanists that are trying to take down the country because they realize there's more of us than them. They're trying to kill Christianity. They're trying to make us gay. Guess what? You want to hear something really funny? So there are these 4 tranny friends that came together and they decided to look at their mother's history. And you want to know something? They realized their mothers were all taking a whole bunch of estrogen before and during pregnancy. Oh, imagine that. Oh, could the frogs be turning gay? Could atrazine actually make that happen? Oh, guess what? Possible, yes. Actually can make them change genders. Imagine that. So there is so much shit going on right in front of our fucking eyes and nobody wants to admit it. And I just want to say this is somebody that's actually doing real reporting and real fucking research, trying to open people's fucking eyes.
These people are sick on Twitter. The Pope has a black eye on the right. And every eye that I found, when I Googled all this, celebrities with black left eyes are part of the Illuminati, it says. And these are just theories. You know, I'm just trying to bring it to. They're not giving us any, you know, plausible explanation for the shit. So you gotta go search it. That's our job. To never just listen to what the media tells us. Yes, he fell into some glass when he was talking to the children. That's how they go and get the black eye. They wake up with black eyes.
Yes.
Just wake up.
That's funny.
I don't think so. Boy George, Obama, who is that? McCain, politicians, the Pope, and then you have big celebrities. Here's more of the Pope.
Sure,
I
lifted
just went
more
down
weight
and
than
I
he did.
just started to look and I thought, okay. So Liz Crokin said something. So this is noticeable. I've never really gotten into it because I never really, you know, did anything. I was like, I never did a video on it and never really researched it. Conspiracy theorists say stars with black eyes are part of the Illuminati. Daily Mail. Let's go ahead and go here. They've been snapped with black left eyes or in the secret Illuminati. Some are left, some are right, but a lot of these
That's what makes America
left
great,
eyes.
mate.
So here we go. Boy George, the Pope. I don't know who this girl is right here. Anybody know this? Liz Hurley, maybe?
Okay, hold on. I'm sorry. I just want to say, if anybody agrees 100% with what somebody else has to say, you're a sheep. You know how many people that I follow, that I listen to, that I think they're so smart and they know so much and da-da-da, but then they say something and I'm like, okay, well, I don't agree with that. That doesn't mean that I lose everything else that I agree with them. But you're never going to find somebody that you agree 100% with. We're in a fucking search for truth in a fucking sea of lies.
Oh, yeah, Elizabeth Hurley and Boy George have been seen with black eyes. Others have been pictured with bruises. George W. Bush conspiracy theorists have asked why so many black eyes. George W. According to
Liberals
some
are all
conspiracy theorists,
sheep,
the
yes.
black eye left part is the cult or Illuminati high-level initiation ritual during which the pledger is said to be forced to eat pain. Guys, who else eats pain? Remember John Podesta in his hand? He has it up and he has a fish and a 13 on it and it says eat the pain. These people are whack jobs. This is not coincidences when they're all talking about eating the pain. This is they also talk about it with Marina Abramovich. She eats the pain too when she talks about eating, like chopping your hands in the middle and eating the pain. So these people, there's something weird about pain with them. I think it makes them more powerful, and they get into this shit like sexually
They're
and
fucking
all
sick.
kinds of other ways, but they're eating their pain. I guess they get punched, they get slapped, they get knocked out, and then they eat the pain. There was another one I found. We'll just get into some of these celebrities that have them. Congressmen, celebrities. I mean, what the hell happened to her? I'm looking at these going, I mean, black eyes, not just black eyes. There's Adam Sandler, celebrities with black eye. Look at him. What the hell happened to these people? I never noticed these people getting the shit. Look at, is that Ozzy Osbourne's daughter? Look, Angelina Jolie. These people are getting the shit kicked out of them. Something's happening here. Something's going on with these people. And they can't give us an explanation, so, you know, secret rituals. It's one big club and we're not in it, right? Well, I don't want to be in it. They can have that shit, man. These people are whack jobs. Total fucking whack jobs. Did the Eye of the Tiger recover? You got, who is that,
Exactly.
Obama's second
right.
in command.
Want to hear it?
John
What are you gonna hear?
Look at homeboy right here with the black and blue. What the hell's going on? Coincidence? No. Acquire a child. Open the child's head. Look, this is what I found. Acquire a child. Open the child's head, and then insert it into your eye. Eat the pain. And it causes bruising. Consume pituitary gland, which this is what we're talking about, the adrenochrome, guys. Hypersexual to the side effects, a bruise. So they're eating these kids in the head. Look at these freaks. I mean, this is all satanic shit. And all it took me was one picture of the Pope to start asking questions. And when you look into it, it's nuts. It doesn't make sense. I mean, these people are getting the shit kicked out of them. Or look, Britney Spears has one. Britney Spears, who is some more Pope. That guy's got a whole face. His whole face is fucked. Blood ritual, Eye of Horus, and that's another thing I thought it could have been when I saw it, the Eye of Horus ritual. So here we go, guys. Some more shit, right, to look into. And Alex Jones, Black Eye Occult Ritual Exposed. Yep. So anyway.
All right. So look, I've been a big everything fan, from space to conspiracies to this or that. And oh, what up? Good to see you here, Moon Landing. I've gone through all of it in all the different ways of what it is, from this or that, protecting God's bloodline, this, that. There's 15 fucking different things of it. And God's honest truth. I really don't believe any of it, because anything it's. But hey, no, if you have the explanation or what you think, if you want to explain it and say it to people, go right ahead. People seem to want to hear it, so go right ahead. One sec, guys. Sorry about that. Oh, wait. No, that's demonic bullshit. Shouldn't be sticking my tongue out like that. Apologize. That one wasn't as good as what I wanted to show. Oh, wow. Now there's 7 people here. Oh, this is not. Oh, it won't let me play that one. Hold on. Oh, another thumbs up. Thanks. Sorry for making you guys wait. All right, so I thought you were going to tell some people. Okay, give me a bit. I'm typing this out on my phone. Oh, yeah, totally cool. Gotcha. All right. Want to look at what's happening with the South African farmers, but yeah, tell me what you guys want to look at. I had some stuff, but it's kind of busy today, so I didn't really figure everything out.
What's going on, James?
Yeah.
Over the last couple of years, I've made a lot of money online, as you can see. I've actually developed a free training that I'm going to show you exactly how I do this. I want to make sure that we don't guarantee any results. I'm not going to say you're going to make this kind of money.
Many mainstream media outlets are pushing back on the president's comments regarding South African farmers. They're claiming murders and land grabs are not happening. One America's Jack Posobiec has
That's a lie.
We're very happy to welcome to One American News today Renee Kruger, who is a young Boer living in South Africa, who had a video that went absolutely viral yesterday on all across social media. It was called the Boer Testimony. It was a hashtag campaign talking about the truth about what's going on in South Africa. And I really appreciated your video because I saw the President Trump, our president, just tweeted about this last week, and now more and more of these videos are coming out. So can you tell me, what were you talking about in the video?
It shows me 5 right now. It only shows you 3. It shows me 5.
President Donald Trump tweeted about South Africa. For
They
us,
fuck with my numbers.
knowing that someone acknowledges what's going on in South Africa, and it was like everyone, all the Afrikaners were just so happy about this tweet. And then I saw in the media, it was like South African farmers saying Trump must leave us the hell alone, and that he took the red pill, and he believes in racist narratives, and ridiculous headlines like that. And I just realized that it is so fake, and it is not true at all. It is not a narrative. It is unfortunately true. I wish it was a narrative, but it stares us in the face each day that it is not. It is true. We are being slaughtered. We are being victimized. So that is why I made the video.
If you could go a little deeper, though,
Thank
and
you,
tell us what
Flatfish.
is the truth about what's happening there in your home in South Africa to the farmers and to the Boer.
The whole time you have to think about what is safe, what is not safe, what safety measures can I take to ensure my safety. And then unfortunately it's true that every day we hear about a farm attack, and these farm attacks are brutal. It is terrible. It is definitely a hate crime. There is this fight between people of different skin color again, which there wasn't necessarily.
I'll go to it after
Now,
this.
does it look like the government is going to follow through with their plan? They call it land reform. Other people are calling it land stealing.
It is disturbingly sad, and it's so fucked up.
Land expropriation without compensation, but then they are still saying that they still want to clarify that they are not going to just dismiss the whole idea. They are still going to go through with it to ensure that the wrongdoing by colonialists and apartheid will be restored. I just wish that the people in our country would actually just take a moment and look at the history and realize that they should change the whole idea about taking back land that we stole because we didn't steal it.
What do you think is
No,
going
they
to
did
happen?
not steal
What do you
it.
think is going to happen for the Boer if the government continues down this path and continues with their plan?
It's not going to just be a peaceful thing where they take the land. There will be definite military pushback.
Wow. Well, hopefully, more stories like yourself, more people making the Boer testimony videos
Amen.
will lead to that kind of situation, and that won't happen. I want to thank you so much, Renee, for sitting down with us and for letting our audience know the truth about what's going on in South Africa.
Want to see more videos like this? Click on the link below and subscribe to One American News on YouTube. And call your cable provider and kindly demand
Okay,
that
you
One
know.
American News is added to
Yeah,
your
shut
lineup.
up, shut up.
Call and subscribe today.
You know what is really disturbing about that is they didn't steal any land from anybody. You see, I forget the name of the tribe, and I'm not gonna. Tutsi and something else, whatever it was. I'm not gonna say that I truly know, but whatever it was, I think those are the ones that were killed or whatever. They came down, whatever tribe did. They came down, slaughtered all of them, and killed all of them. Well, these people, you know, there wasn't much resources there, or you know, it wasn't easy to live off the land. So they weren't able to fight off what came. Well, the people came and killed them. And then they're like, oh shit, well, that ain't gonna do anything. And I'm talking about other Africans. And they're like, well, we can't even live here or do anything. They've left it. The freaking land has not been touched for who knows how long. And then a lot of Dutch and a lot of other people that ended up being called the Boers came in and settled the land where nobody fucking lived. Pardon my French. And lived there for hundreds of years. I mean, fought wars, and most of the wars they fought were actually against the other white people, not against the indigenous, because there were no indigenous. Nobody knew how to farm the land. These people are already starting to freaking go hungry. It's going to be like, I mean, Venezuela, you think it's bad? That place is going to get just as bad, if not worse. I'm sure it's a priority, is already, whatever. They're the ones, and we're not talking about killing them yet, but they want them to teach them how to farm before they leave. Like, and they take all their equipment and their land. Like, it is disturbing. All right, hold on. I gotta go find this. But, you know, nobody wants to freaking talk about it. Mainstream media doesn't want to talk about that. No. I think that's kind of a big deal. I think that kind of matters. The worst thing is they already did it in the country. I forget what the fucking name of it is. Pardon fucking being a dick. Cussing. But no, they already did it in the country next to them, pretty much, and everybody's starving there. Well, they're the only ones that know how to farm the land. Yeah, I don't trust Masons as far as that. Yeah, thanks. Damn. All right. Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? One second. I'm sorry. No, you did a good job on that. No, seriously.
Plenty
barefooty stuff.
No, you did a good job on that. That was a lot of fucking writing and getting that in there. Yeah, you know, I don't agree with a lot of it, but hey, straight up. No, thank you for putting that out here. I mean, everything on this, I like it when people don't agree. We're supposed to be going through stuff. Okay, all right. Here comes Annie's new video. Are we ready? Here we go.
Aretha Franklin's funeral.
Oh, yeah. I thought.
Aretha Franklin's funeral. Ariana Grande, special guest to sing her tribute songs. And you got the pastor who called her right there, black guy, Pastor Ellis, called her a side menu at Taco Bell and told her he needed to cross the border. If he was a white pastor, by the way, he would be destroyed in the media right now. I'm just trying to point that out. So you've got the main character of The Walking Dead here, Hillary Clinton, looked like somebody dragged her adrenochromeless ass out of bed. And you got this goofy rapist motherfucker here. Look how he's staring at her. This guy is the biggest piece of shit. And I mean, look how disgusting they both look. He can't stop staring at her ass. He can't stop smiling. I bet his tongue's hanging the fuck out. He's probably drooling under there. You can't see it because of her hand, but I'm sure there's drool coming out like a damn dog. And Ariana Grande
wait till my commentary.
has to live through this one staring at her husband, which, I mean, really, like I said, they're probably not even really together. This is all for show. She looks like she should die. Hurry up and die, Hillary. And she's staring at him because he's staring at her ass. And these people are disgusting. And this is the kind of, show of love these people give to...
Look at his face.
I have to say, she was a legend, yes. And this is the kind of a display of stupidness these motherfuckers come. Look at these idiots. Look at this idiot. These people are idiots. I'm sorry. These people are out of their minds.
Satanists. They're all Satanists.
And they both they can't stand each other. They can't stand each other. This is a joke. But, so Ariana Grande gets called a Taco Bell item, and she gets completely undressed by Bill Clinton. Look at this disgusting man. This guy makes me sick. I mean, I would have just
looks like a demon. He is a demon.
His ass out. All right, this is Annie. You know how I feel about Bill Clinton.
Okay. So, here we go. All right. So, this dude does trans investigations.
My name is Louise, and this is my walk away video.
Oh, walk away video. And no joke, talking about Ariana Grande being like a tranny or a whatever. I'm not supposed to say that, am I? In my truck, yeah, that. And no joke, it's so funny because she's sitting there singing, and I'm not saying Aretha Franklin, wasn't a woman, but isn't that just a weird song? You make me feel like a natural born woman. Isn't that kind of fucking weird when you think about it? Like when you truly step back and think about it, you're like, that's weird. And then you think of her singing that. If, what that guy, his little investigation or what he thinks is true. It just would not surprise me as that along those lines of how much they just like to slap us in our face. Just saying. I mean, could you imagine that? Yeah, that's one thing that I've fucking noticed. Alright, well, I was gonna show you. So what else should we laugh at? Let's see what we got. That one isn't too much funny. But yeah, I kind of laugh about that. I don't know, I might be crazy on that one. I don't know what you guys think about it, but there is this dude that does trans investigations, and what's even disturbing is when he shows like the presidents for like the past 80 years, and you see most of these wives, and they all look like men. It's disturbing. I'm not saying like Jackie Kennedy or anything like that, but you go back and look at Barbara Bush, and you look at them and their pictures, and you're like, What the fuck? Like, seriously, go back. I mean, what's going on? I'm not saying I'm beautiful or anything, but are people just getting more pretty and more good looking? What's going on? Because I see pictures from 100 years ago, 150 years ago, even your great grandparents and your grandparents, and you look at it and like, people were ugly as fuck back in the day. So it's like there's something, there's a shift going on or something. I don't fucking know. I had 2 tall sake, so I'm like, no, it's funny when you drink sake, at least, you know, every once in a while. It doesn't hit you that hard, but fuck. If you haven't drank it in a couple months and you drink a whole bunch, whew, fucking shit wipes you. Alright, well, I was looking for something and now I'm fucking lost. So what the fuck? What should we look at? Oh, shit. Oh, no, Trump is the greatest troll. You know what I think the greatest troll that he's ever done is Space Force. Because when they can't take him down for anything, they're going to be like, well, how dare you let, you know, NASA keep going on because the Earth is flat and you know that and you're stealing people's money, you're a piece of shit. I have the greatest feeling in the world that that will be what happens. All right, you know what? I just feel like this. How? Here we go. Deal with it. I really think that it will be the greatest troll ever, and he's like, haha, I got you to fucking admit it, you pieces of shit. I'm just saying. Alright, we're gonna get patriotic here, bitches. I love you.
Fellow American patriots, I come to you today to let you know that your government cannot overpower you, and that you as the people hold your own fate and your way of life in the palm of your hands. You are under the watchful eye of an ever-increasingly tyrannical government, but within that government lies patriots just like you. For fear of retaliation from that very government and the safety of my family, I'm forced to cover my face like a common criminal, like a coward. I've been told that my thoughts are traitorous and that my actions un-American. Why? Because I support the people? Because I support the Constitution? I'm here today to say to those of you that are asleep that you are the traitor. You that stand idly by as our freedoms are slowly stripped from us are the un-American. I ask civilians on the street if they're aware of the form of government that this United States was founded on. Almost every one of them proudly stated democracy. We spread democracy across the world, I've heard. Let me read to you Article 4, Section 4 of the Constitution of the United States. The United States shall guarantee to every state in the Union a republican form of government, and it shall protect each of them against invasion and on application of the legislature or the executive legislature cannot be convened against domestic violence. Tell me if this one sounds familiar. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. How did we get so far from our roots? And while I'm on pledges, many of you might have seen the YouTube video produced by Harlow Productions, where dozens of celebrities pledged to be a servant to our president and mankind. A servant to our president. Last time I checked,
Nobody wants that.
is a servant for the people. And I pledge no allegiance to any man. You know what I pledge? I pledge that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, both foreign and domestic, and that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, so help me God. That's what I pledge. And that's the pledge that every U.S. service member makes. Yet it seems most of them don't even know what's in the Constitution. Second Amendment, written December 15, 1791. A well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed.
Shall not be infringed.
I consider any laws that affect my right to keep and bear arms as an infringement of that right. So you lawmakers out there, go ahead. Push
Congress passed the Blair Holtz H.R. 45 bill. We will use every avenue of peaceful resolve we have. Backs against the wall, and we will push back. Next is attention. The powers not delegated to the United States by the Constitution or prohibited by it to the states are reserved to the states respectively or the people. So all these laws that the government passes, like you having to give your child shot known to cause autism before your child can attend public school, the restrictions of homeschooling, the banning of medicines that help people, gun control being referred to the committee right now as I speak, the suspension of habeas corpus, so many unconstitutional laws that 9 states have already declared sovereignty of the United States government. And it's
You hear that?
over 20
9 states.
I was shocked whenever I read the Oklahoma State resolution. That this serve as notice and demand to the federal government as our agents to cease and desist effective immediately mandates that are beyond the scope of these constitutionally delegated powers. That's passion, conviction, dedication of the Oklahoma residents. And they're not alone. We, the American patriots, are tired of standing.
What are you talking about?
This is a call to arms. Support the sovereignty of your states. Reclaim your freedoms. Write your senators. Write your congressmen. Write your state representatives. For you American citizens that are asleep, there's something going on around you. If you can't see it, it's only because you're so self-absorbed in your trinkets, and your cell phones, and your video games, your corporate jobs. There's a revolution brewing under the surface of your country, and you don't even know it. If I ask you, if you're awake and you don't know what I'm talking about, you need to start searching for information. You need to read your Constitution. You need to know your rights. Look up what started the first revolution. Do research on your monetary system. Keyword the Federal Reserve. Ask yourself a simple question. Do I want to be free? Or do I just ask for a protective master to watch over me? Time for you to make that choice is at hand. The enemies of the Constitution are not far away in some distant desert. They're found right here on our own soil. We've
Amen.
become complacent. We've allowed the tyrants to take over this country, and we have no one to blame but ourselves.
Yep.
The time is now. We must rise up together as one voice and resist while we still have the ability to resist. I know many of you are afraid of the government. You wonder how can you fight something as strong as the U.S. military? I ask you this question. Who is it that's behind those rifles that you fear? Preach it, brother. They are your sons, your daughters, your mothers, and your fathers. They're American citizens just like you. And let me assure you that there is a resistance within the military. We will not be
McCain was a warmonger.
not allow the American people to harm their rights be taken away in any manner. We will not dissolve the American people through martial law. Let me assure you, patriots, that we will die fighting our brothers in arms if we must, but we will not fight our country. Our lives will be stake on this. Patriots, the time is at hand. It pushes us into a corner, and I wish you well. The fight that lies before us will be the toughest thing our generations have ever endured. Your grandchildren's grandchildren will read about how you fought for their freedoms. Damn right they will. I only hope they will not be as foolish as we allow them to do this again. Patriots, I'll leave you with the saying that my father left me with.
I don't think he really died.
Keep your chins up, your heads down, dig your foxholes deep. Godspeed, and Semper Fidelis.
Amen. Yeah, I really,
What is in front of us, brothers and sisters?
I really don't think that he died. I really don't. I don't know. I know how they are and what they are. So in no way do I really think that he died. But hey, it is what it is. It could be what it could be. All right, let's get this one.
We've got to try and help the Russians in every way that we can to make ready to meet the spring offensive of Hitler. I appreciate there are some people in this country who are still afraid of the spread of the Russian ideology, but what they've got to recollect is that if we are friendly with Russia,
Crow, you're
have
right.
an arrangement of cooperation with them, any dangers which they fear will
That's
be
what they
very
do.
much less. As a matter of fact, the Soviet Union have no idea and no wish to interfere with the internal affairs
Yes.
of any other country.
You're right.
I know that from the lips of Stalin himself.
You're right. Hang the tyrants here. We're so right. Oh, hell yeah. That was funny as hell. Yeah, all these people follow Aleister Crowley, and this dude talked about sex rituals and pedophilia and all this shit. Like, we've got to stand up. It's in front of our eyes. Sorry. Well, we all hope it's harmless. Shouldn't surprise you, right? No, this is hitting some good stuff here. I know you kind of got to read. I know that's always annoying.
They are killed and they even make soap out of them. I know that.
Lion bitch.
I know that directly from first hand. You can be sure. It is that way.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna say anything. Just shut up, though.
Futile attempts, which they knew by any logic that they can't succeed, to jump out from the lorries, which takes them to the gas chambers, which are only perhaps less than a mile away, and which were already stoked, and the fire was coming out from the chimneys.
No chimneys. Imagine that.
And the fire was coming out from the chimneys.
Chimneys. Pretty funny. Because they're liars. Because it's all been a lie. Everything you've ever been taught is a fucking lie. I'm sorry. Every truth you'll ever truly find through the lie, we'll go back to the Bible, is they're all trying to hide God from you. That's why I'm here, and that's why you're here. Yes, we're fucking trying to find the truth through the lies. Okay, the Soviet Union killed way more people than the Germans did. Nobody's saying the Germans didn't. But what people don't realize is the atrocities that the Polish people did to Germany. Everybody talks because you got to realize, hey, the victors write the history. But if you want to really look into real history, guess what? What the Polish people were doing to the German people and what they assaulted and started, that's what started the fucking war. Here, you know, here's what pissed me off too, and I'm not saying this is you, but you know, they only show you parts of Hitler's speeches. If you listen to Hitler's speeches, his speeches that are over an hour, 2 hours, some are, you know, freaking hour and a half, 2 hours long. If you listen to what he's saying, it is moving, and it's not what they show. They only show the times that he's angry, talking about what's going on. But when you hear what he's saying and what he wants, it's just kind of like what they did to Gaddafi. You got to understand, everything's a lie. People don't even realize that General Ford Motors, they sued the U.S. government in the 1950s for blowing up their Panzer factories. Okay, can I say this again? General Ford Motors sued the U.S. government for blowing up their Panzer factories in Germany during World War II. You got to understand, everything you've ever been taught is a lie. They don't tell you shit like that, because then you might realize, oh shit, there are people that are funding both sides that win no matter what. Like, it's fucking insanity, I'd say. Oh, thank you. See, there's even some black rapper that has a freaking swastika, and he knows it is a peace. But yes, it's a good luck and peace thing. People don't even realize that's what the swastika really is. They turned it into, do you understand? Everything's upside down and backwards. They've turned a symbol of peace and understanding and tranquility, and there's a lot of meaning in actually to that fucking symbol, and it goes through all cultures, and it's supposed to be a good thing, and they've turned it into an evil thing. Everything's upside down, everything's backwards. He has come and deceived the world, my brothers and sisters. Oh, it froze on me. Oh my God. What disrespect for your country. It's all, everything they do is for a reason. It's disturbing. Deep state and the shadow government. Two different entities. It's all behind the Zionists. That's why I get in trouble. I admit that.
It was my freedom of information.
Please spread this with everybody you can, guys.
Not only that he was innocent, but who Ivan really was.
Sorry. Here, let's.
The case.
Sorry. Get back on that.
Back from Israel, John Demjanjuk. It was my Freedom of Information Act which proved not only that he was innocent, but who Ivan really was. The case was so sensitive, members of Congress would say, Jim, I love you, but please, don't involve me. I sent my evidence to the Sixth Circuit Court in Cincinnati. They wouldn't accept it. I finally sent it over to Israel, to the Israeli Supreme Court, and they called me over there, and I went with the family. I did a live interview satellite with Brian Gumbel, and I said, when they put this innocent man to death...
Okay, see, here's the thing is, look, for what they did to Germany, they had to make the whole world think that they were the most evil people in the world. Here's a nice fun fact. You know, a whole bunch of Germans got captured, Stalingrad, all this, and died, and this and that, and everything, and all the war, blah, blah, blah. Did you know more Germans died? And I'm talking million more Germans died 2 years after the war than died during the whole time they were at war. Do you understand that? Do you understand that? Do you want to know why so many Germans died after? Even more Germans died 2 years after the war than during the whole war. Do you want to know why? Because what we did to them. That's why we had to make them into the monsters. I dare anybody to go listen to one of Hitler's full speeches. Almost any one of them. Very hard to find if you can find it. And tell me. And people have done studies on this, and from black, Asian, white, any Cummings, anybody that listens to one of his full speeches is like, oh my God, that's moving. What these poor people. It's insane. So I dare anybody to check that out.
15 to 20 billion dollars every year they get from the American taxpayers. Brian Gumbel says, what are you talking about? You only get $3 billion. And I said, Brian, that's only the foreign aid bill. Look at all the other trade compacts, economic assistance, military assistance. I'm saying this to you right now. Israel gets approximately $15 billion a year from the American taxpayers.
Yes, they do. They're crooks.
Is $30,000 for every man, woman, and child.
Yep.
People in my district are losing their pension benefits.
Yep.
So I was talking
and we're paying for Israel. Okay. What is insane is I feel so bad for Germany because it's like they've been brainwashed that they were evil people. You know, almost look at America. I mean, we have more white people against us than we actually do have people that are, you know, Mexican, black, whatever. You know what I mean? But we're all Americans, blah, blah, it doesn't matter. But you got to look, most of these people are white idiots that have been brainwashed that they're evil and they should feel bad for what it's just the insanity that is going on in the world. The devil is burning candles at both ends because we are the last generation and shit is coming. It is amazing how much he is burning the candles at both ends. Oh yeah, I'm German, Irish, Scottish, Italian, and Basque. But yeah, I can trace my lineage at least back to the Mayflower. Direct descendant of fucking Brigham Young. Alright, not like that means anything.
Ja, das Deutsche Volk war ja damals eine Demokratie vor uns. Und es ist ausgeplündert und ausgepresst worden. Nein, was heißt für die internationalen Hyänen? Das interessiert die gar nicht. Es interessiert sie nur eines. Ist jemand bereit, sich ausplündern zu lassen? Ja oder nein? Ist jemand dumm genug, dabei stillzuhalten? Ja oder nein? Und wenn eine Demokratie dumm genug ist, dabei stillzuhalten, dann ist sie gut. Und wenn ein autoritärer Staat erklärt, wir plündern unser Volk nicht aus, weder innen noch außen, dann ist das schrecklich.
Never forget, Germany was only the 109th country to kick out the Jewish banking system. That's what they wanted to get rid of. The Jewish banking system, the Zionist Jews. Even the real Jews don't like the Zionist Jews. I'm not joking. They have marches against them in Jerusalem. You can look that up. The real Jews don't not like the Zionists. Yeah, I don't believe that stuff. There might have been one or two sickos. There's always sickos in war, but that was not the norm. Sorry. You know, hold on. You want to know the first guy that wrote a book about World War II, and he was actually Jewish? He said, yes, people died in the camps, not in the ways that they said, you know, in the numbers. And he is like, the reason they died in the camps is because the Allies had bombed off all the railways, and there was no way to get us any food. Everybody was starving. And you can't kill 6 million people when there's not even 3 million in the whole of Europe. And yeah, kind of hard to do that when somebody didn't even take over all of Europe. Look, I just gotta say, I'm a complete history buff, and I learned everything that the History Channel and the Discovery Channel and all this and all the history that was taught to us by the winners. And you know what? There's lots of true history in it, but there's lots of lies in it. The victors write the history. I'm telling you, there's so much that is insane, that is so falsified to you. And they even prove it when, you know, stuff comes out, you know, Freedom of Information Acts, this and that, and tell you about the stuff that they've done, and we still sit here like, yeah, oh well. It's in front of your faces, brothers and sisters. I just want to say, hey, if Hitler did what they say he did, yes, he's a piece of fucking shit. But if he didn't, I mean, come on, Time Magazine named him Man of the Year. People seem to forget that. Time Magazine named him Man of the Year. Isn't that a little bit weird? And, oh, here, I got another quick quote pro for you. Blah, blah, blah. I don't even know what this is, but... Okay, so riddle me this. Jesse Owens. Guess what? Motherfucker. Jesse Owens. Berlin Games. He won more gold medals than anybody else. Beautiful black man. Great runner. Great at everything. That's why you gotta, you know, back then, see, these were real men. They didn't specialize in one fucking thing. They actually did almost most of them, you know, not in everything, but, you know, they did multiple. He won more gold medals, this beautiful black man, for America. He is a true blue American. Blue, whatever, well, I know blue now is evil. No, I'm just joking. He is a great American, and you know what? Hitler had to. They lie and they say that Hitler got angry and left. No, Hitler went down and got his picture taken with him, shaking his hand, and Hitler gave him a gift and some letter or something. I don't know if it was a signed picture of him or whatever the fuck it was, but like Hitler, he literally wanted to go down and get his picture taken. And you know what he told him? He told him, if I had more men like you in my country, we'd be a lot better off. Your country should be proud of you. And you want to know what happened? He came back to America, and our president never even wanted to meet him, never sent him a telegram to say, congratulations, thank you, sir, for winning the most gold medals for America. Out of everybody. I mean, like, how sad is that? And that's our problem. People don't know real history. So would you think that a man like that would have done all the things that you've been taught that he did? Think of that. And that's where it's at. All right, here we go. Sorry, guys. Let's see what we got here. I don't even know what this is. We'll see.
Hello, everyone. Today is May 29th, 2018. And on this day, and likely every day that follows,
It is a crime in many places of the world to criticize Jewish people.
Oh,
We can criticize Christians. We can criticize Hindus, Buddhists, Sikhs. We can criticize Muslims. We can even criticize atheists. But the one group that we are not allowed to criticize, at least not without repercussions, are the Jews. We're told that no matter what that group of people does, if we speak out about it, we are engaging in hate speech. And any criticism of the ideologies of Zionism or the political policies of the State of Israel, that constitutes anti-Semitism. Now, while some say that no group of people in the history of the world have been as persecuted as the Jews, some would argue that no group in the history of the world has been as well protected as the Jews. In many countries, criticizing them is a crime that can carry a jail sentence. How many groups of people have ever enjoyed that kind of protection? The United Nations,
For real.
took
I
lands
think
away
men
from
were
the
real men back in the day. You're
declaring
right.
them to belong
You're
to the
right,
Jews for their own
Flatfish.
state. Today, that state receives a quarter of its operating budget from the United States taxpayer. It's armed to the teeth by U.S. tax dollars. It is defended from outside invasion by the might of the U.S. military itself. So,
We'll get in. I'll find something more interesting. Sorry, guys.
maybe both. The answer is in the
Getting 3 hours in. I'm a little. All right, what do we got?
important that we talk about this. I think it's important for people to understand the true history of the State of Israel and how it came about, because Israel plays such a significant role.
All right, I like this one.
Once in a
To me,
while,
this
I
is
get
funny.
people that really, or that claim they don't believe in evolution. And my response generally is, so why not? Really, why not? You guys believe 20 billion years ago there was a big bang where nothing exploded and produced everything. 4.6 billion years ago the earth cooled down, made a hard rocky crust. It rained on the rocks for millions of years, turned them into soup, and the soup came alive 3 billion years ago. Found somebody to marry, and something to eat, of course, and slowly evolved into everything we see today. There are some lies in our science books. Taught it for 15 years. Even though I'm not teaching it anymore, I still like to study. It's so many neat things to learn. We're going to cover some of that tonight. I'm not against science, I'm not against schools, I'm not against teachers, because most of them don't know what they believe. You have to tell them. They teach the kids it all started with a Big Bang 20 billion years ago. What exploded? This is what the textbooks teach.
Before the Big Bang, there was nothing, literally nothing, an infinitesimal nugget of space. And then something happened, triggering the most colossal explosion in history.
Yes, boys and girls, you see, nothing exploded, and here we are. So I asked this professor if I could ask him some questions about the Big Bang. I said, where did all this matter come from? He said, well, we don't know that for sure. I said, well, sir, would you please tell me where the laws came from? The universe is run by laws, gravity, centrifugal force, inertia. Who gave the laws? He said, we don't know that either. I said, sir, could you tell me where the energy came from? You know, it takes energy to make a Big Bang. Who bought the gas to run this machine anyway? He said, we don't know that either. I said, sir, could I ask you another question? He said, sure. What else would you like to know? Else? What do you mean else? You haven't told me nothing yet. I said, does Berkeley have a merry-go-round? You see, if a spinning object breaks apart in a frictionless environment, the fragments will all spin the same direction. The professor said, yes, I understand about the conservation of angular momentum. I said, well, good. I'd like to ask you a question then, sir. If the whole universe began as a swirling dot, like you said, why do 2 planets spin backwards? He said, that's interesting. I said, no, that's more than interesting. It's kind of hard on your Big Bang Theory. Not only that, 6 of the moons are spinning backwards. Why?
Yes, that's fake CGI bullshit. But
Why do you think they're going backwards?
Today.
I was hoping he was going to ask that. I said, okay, now, sir, hold it. If I told you that I believe God created the heaven and the earth like the Bible teaches, you're going to say, and where did God come from? And I don't know. But you said, well, we don't know that for sure. We don't know that either. Don't tell me my theory is religious and yours is science. Oh, no, sir, they're both religious. Evolution is religion. So you have to believe. So I asked the professor, where did the matter come from? He said, I don't know. So basically, I believe in the beginning God, and you believe in the beginning dirt. One professor was getting kind of upset about this time. He said, Mr. Hovind, there are hundreds of varieties of dogs in the world. He said, you mean to tell me that you believe all these dogs came from 2 dogs off a Noah's Ark? You expect me to believe that? I said, sir, would you look at what you're teaching your students? You're teaching your students that all the dogs in the world came from a rock. Charles Darwin was disciplined. I mean, he did these extraordinary experiments, this series of experiments. Then they're going to tell the kids, well, we have evidence for this theory. Charlie Darwin stopped off at these islands right there called the Galapagos Islands. Charlie studied the birds very carefully and said, you know what? I think all these birds had a common ancestor. I bet you're right, Charlie. It was a bird. You see 14 kinds of birds, and you conclude that birds and bananas are related. Here are these ancient dinosaur bones or fossils. They tell the kids they have evidence of evolution from fossils. I don't think so. If you find a fossil in the dirt, all you know is it died. You don't know that it had any kids. And you sure don't know that it had different kids. You bring in a bone to the judge. Judge, I found this bone in the dirt. This is the ancestor of all the humans today. They would laugh at you. You don't know that that's the ancestor of anybody. And why on earth would you think a bone in the dirt can do something animals today cannot do? They'll say, boys and girls, you have 2 bones in your wrist, radius and ulna. And boys and girls, look at the whale's slipper carefully. Did you know the whale has 2 bones in his slipper? And they're called the radius and the ulna? Same as ours. Wow. Who named them, teacher? The whale? Think about it.
I'm here to tell my people it's time to stop believing bull. Just because I tell you bull with a straight look on their face. Evolution say people came from monkeys. And the question is, why is there still monkeys? Is these the retarded monkeys? They didn't turn into people just yet.
Even Stephen Gould admitted the absence of fossil evidence for intermediary stages is a persistent and nagging problem for evolution. See, what's happened, these guys have looked for missing links in the fossil record. They can't find any, and so they say, well, maybe evolution happened so fast it wasn't preserved. Maybe a reptile laid an egg and a bird hatched out. Well, who did that bird marry? This process that brought us to be is billions of years old. It happens very fast. Billions of years fast. Here is radioactivity. We're going to tell the kids in the late 1940s they invented carbon dating. We're going to explain a little bit about radiometric dating and how it's supposed to work, and then show you that it does not work, okay? It sounds good, but there are some assumptions that mess everything up. If we had walked into a room and found a candle burning on the table,
Pay
and I asked you
attention.
the question, when was it lit? You say, I don't know, Mr. Holman, it's burning when I got here. Okay, well then let's do some empirical science. Let's measure the height of the candle. Suppose the candle is 7 inches tall. Who can tell me when it was lit? Okay, nobody. Let's do some more empirical science. Let's measure the rate of burn. Suppose we determine it's burning 1 inch an hour. When was it lit? You're going to have a hard time telling me unless you're willing to make some assumptions. You find a fossil, you can measure how much C14 is in it. Very accurately, by the way. And you can measure how fast it's decaying. That's just like measuring the height of your candle and how fast it's burning. Now, when did that animal die? You don't have a clue. Here's what you ought to consider about carbon dating. Samples of known age, it doesn't work. If it's a sample of unknown age, it is assumed to work. It's just really a hard thing. It's really a hard thing. Your world just becomes fantastically complicated when you don't believe in evolution. Freshly killed seal,
No, it
carbonated
becomes
1,300
simple.
years old. Shells from living snails, carbonated 27,000 years old. Living penguins, carbonated 8,000 years old. One part of Dima was 40,000 years old, another part was 26,000, and the wood next to it is 9,000. Then they tell the kids about the geologic column. They say each of the layers is a different age, Cenozoic, Mesozoic, Paleozoic, Archeozoic, all Enzoic boys. Now, if you get a petrified tree standing up, running through different rock layers, I don't think it's smart to say those layers are vastly different ages. Those trees did not get slowly covered by the sediments over millions of years. They would
Damn
rot
right.
and fall down. Crazy. They'll say, boys and girls, you have an appendix that you don't need anymore. It's a vestigial structure that's proof of evolution. Well, excuse me, you do need your appendix. The appendix is part of your immune system. If your appendix is taken out, you can still live, okay? But it increases your susceptibility to quite a few diseases. You can live without both your legs and both your arms and both your eyes also. That doesn't prove you don't need them. There are no vestigial organs. And even if there were, that would be the opposite of evolution. That's losing, not gaining. I was taught when I went to school, man used to have a tail, but he lost it because he didn't need it.
Oh, this is great. I
thought
love
didn't
this.
need it. Have you ever thought how handy a tail would be? Have you ever come to the door with 2 sacks of groceries? Wouldn't that be nice, man, be able to grab that door and walk right around and get in? Lost it because we didn't. Man, you could drive the car and tune the radio knob and hold the Coke at the same time.
What we're finding is that natural selection seems to be an incredibly important factor in generating new species.
Natural selection,
Oh,
the
God.
key evolutionary mechanism Darwin identified.
The bad designs get eaten by the good ones, and so all you have is good ones. Natural selection doesn't cause any evolution. It makes sure the bad ones don't survive, but it's not going to change it to something else. That's what evolution is. If you worked in a factory that produced cars, and your job was to check for defects, and you caught every single mistake, and you rejected it, how long would it take that process to change the car to an airplane? You say it'll never change it. That's my point. The students are taught we have evidence from development. Darwin considered this by far the strongest single class of evidence. This textbook says the human
Get ready.
embryo growing in the mother has gills like a fish.
Pay attention.
Those little folds of skin are not gills. Those little wrinkles under your chin when you're growing up later develop into bones in the ear and glands in the throat. They never have anything to do with breathing. I've seen folks that have 5 or 6 chins and they can't breathe through any of them but the top one. Those are not gill slits. Ernst Haeckel, though, said the turning point in his thinking was when he read Darwin's book. He made huge charts of his posters of his drawings of these embryos and traveled all over Germany and just about by himself converted the Germans to believing in evolution. Haeckel took a drawing of a dog and a human embryo and he changed them to make them look exactly alike. On top are Haeckel's fake drawings, underneath are actual photographs of what he claimed he was drawing a picture of. Now either he's a lousy artist or he's a liar. Well, it turns out he's a liar. He was convicted of fraud by his own university, proven to be a fraud. But guess what? Haeckel's fake drawings are still used in textbooks in your state right now.
You hear
It's
that?
been proven wrong 125 years ago.
You hear
It
that?
takes a while to get textbooks up to date, but that ought to be plenty of time. Adolf Hitler said, "You let me control the textbooks, I'll control the state." Watch this sentence here carefully. Some kid's doing this for homework tonight. Boys and girls, do you think humans are still evolving? Now, what kind of question is that? Doesn't that question assume that evolution has happened? What if a kid doesn't believe in evolution? How's he supposed to do his homework tonight? That question does not teach him how to think critically. That teaches him what to think, not how to think. And when the kid gets done with this course, he's going to think he knows how to think. But he doesn't. He knows how to be told what to think.
Yep, exactly.
Brainwashing at taxpayer expense. They want to
And
use my
hey,
tax dollars to teach
and
them
just think about it. And this, the left constantly goes, "Well, you can't do that. That's inclusive," so they can get all their agendas passed. And if we try to pass anything of like, "Hey, no, that's disturbing," we're sexist, we're racist, we're chauvinist. I mean, they've made it into a corner. It's insanity.
your kids in our schools. If you want to deny evolution, that's fine. But don't make your kids do it, because we need them.
Yeah, you
And that's where the
piece of
problem
shit.
comes in. Okay, if you want to believe in the Big Bang, just enjoy yourself, but keep your religion at home. The Russian atheist astronomer came to America and spoke at one of the universities, and he started off his speech. He said, "Folks, either there is a God or there isn't.
Pay
Both
attention.
possibilities are frightening. If there is no God, we're in trouble.
Listen,
We're hurtling through space around the sun right now at 66,000 miles an hour, and nobody's in charge. That's a scary thought. But if God made the world, he owns it.
damn right, 2
That
genders,
means
period.
he makes the rules. You see, if there is a God, we better find out who he is.
We live
Find out what he wants and do what he
on
says.
an immovable plane. The Father
Malcolm Muggeridge
tells us.
said, "I am convinced the theory of evolution, especially the extent to which it's been applied, will be one of the great jokes in the history books of the future." It's a joke. And it would be a joke if it weren't for the tragic results. How many kids are taught this thing every day and believe it, and it destroys their faith?
Exactly.
Find you something to believe in. Whole thing, who do you even pray to? Nobody.
Hey, if you died today, where would you go? You ought to think about it, because you will be dead for a long time. Doesn't matter how long you live, you're going to be dead longer than that. You know, George Washington died 200 years ago. and he's still dead? How much longer does he have to go? He'll be dead for a long time. All you get in this life is a little bitty dash between two dates.
That's it.
Just a little, and it's gone. What are you going
That's
to do
it.
with your dash?
That's all you get.
Where would you go if you die? Now, if you're not sure you're going to heaven, you ought to give your heart to the Lord and get saved. Say, Lord, you may have it, the whole thing. If you are saved, you ought to find something to do for the Lord. And you ought to quit worrying about getting a fancier car and a fancier house and start worrying about who's going to heaven or hell. Maybe God gave you that good job so you can give some money to missionaries. Not so you can build a bigger, fancier house. God loves you. God has a plan for your life. And if you don't want it, well, that's your
It's
business.
a crazy world.
But the devil is laughing at you for believing in that. But God loves you and he wants you to come to heaven. And if you'd like to find out how to go to heaven, come see me. I'll be glad to show you.
They're brainwashed. It's sick.
There was nothing.
I feel so horrible
Nothing created
for them.
The Big Bang is an amazingly difficult thing to wrap your brain around, which isn't surprising.
13.7 billion years
It's a lot
ago,
easier to think that God separated the waters from the waters.
nothing.
A lot easier. Makes more sense.
Something happened. Nothing created all the matter we see in the universe today.
Do you understand how insane that sounds? And people don't even get it when you say it to them. You're like, do you not realize how stupid that sounds? It's like science fiction started a long time ago.
And that's what trips most of us up. It was the explosion of nothing.
Find you something to believe in. World getting crazy. And you better believe something.
Amen. This is where we're at, dude. This is where we're at. I mean, our kids were brainwashed. And what's even sicker is nobody cares about that. What's even sicker about it is to try to teach even young kids about it, you know. Even if you have your own kids that you try to teach about it. Because, you know, I got the grandbabies, and it's funny, little Gianna, she's found my videos on YouTube and whatever, and just whatever, something came up about flat earth. And she's like, you think it's flat? And I'm like, I think it's flat. I think it's flat. Doesn't seem like it's moving, but that's just me. Whatever. But the brainwashing that is going on to our kids, and even if you teach your own kid or whatever, whether, you know, or grandkids or whatever, the parents, no matter what, are like, I don't want my kid to be ridiculed, even you. Think about it. You want your kids to know the truth. But you have to worry about them going to school being ridiculed. So you actually got to make them double smart of like, hey, you know this, but nobody else is, you know, going to be able to grasp it. So might as well not bring it up. You know, that's kind of the disturbing part about it. I'm not saying that's the right way to go about it, but, you know, that's kind of what we're going through. Let's see what this guy got. He does a good job.
Hey friends, Sean from SGT Report here with another video. So a special shout out to my patrons. You're making a huge difference for me and my little team, and I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart, because guess what? 9 of my last happened to T-Mobile users, where 2 million customers had their personal data stolen, and Virtual Shield's end of summer blowout sale allows you to save up to 70% blowout sale. The link, share it with others. It goes like this. Connecting Some Dots by You Lone Star Believer. I'm passing this on from someone who's connecting some dots with input from sources he cannot reveal. Here's what it looks like when all the pieces are sewn together. It smells like conspiracy and treason. Everyone needs to read this slowly and patiently, because it's very important. From 2001 to 2005, there was an ongoing investigation into the Clinton Foundation. A grand jury had been impaneled. Governments from around the world had donated to the charity. Yet from 2001 to 2003, none of those donations to the Clinton Foundation were declared. Now you would think that an honest investigator would be able to figure this out. Sidebar, folks, our friend Charles Ortel has figured this out, and yet CNN and the Mockingbird mainstream media continue to ignore these simple facts. But back to the article. Look who took over this investigation in 2005. None other than James Comey. Coincidence? Guess who was transferred into the Internal Revenue Service to run the tax exemption branch of the IRS? None other than Lois Beyond the Lookout Lerner. Isn't that interesting? But this is all just a series of strange coincidences, right? Sidebar, guys. Q has said, do you believe in coincidences? Back to the article. Guess who ran the tax inside the Department of Injustice from 2001 to 2005? None other than Assistant Attorney General of the United States, Rod Rosenstein. Guess who was the director of the Federal Bureau of Investigation during this time frame? Another coincidence, huh? Just an anomaly in statistics and chances. It was Robert Mueller. What do all four casting characters have in common? They were all briefed and or were frontline investigators into the Clinton Foundation investigation. Another coincidence, right? Fast forward to 2009. James Comey leaves the Justice Department to go and cash in on Lockheed Martin. Hillary Clinton is running the State Department, official government businesses on her own personal email server. The Uranium One issue comes to the attention of Hillary. Like all good public servants do, supposedly looking out for America's best interests, she decides to support the decision and approve the sale of 20% of U.S. uranium to none other than the Russians.
Don't miss Six Flags Flash Sale. Save 75% on 2019 season passes. The biggest event of the year, beginning August 30th for 5 days only. Get the rest of this year, including Fright Fest and Holiday in the Park, free. Plus get free upgrade to gold with free parking and free Hurricane River Concord. It's the...
Now, you would think that this is a fairly straight-up deal, except it wasn't. America got absolutely nothing out of it. However, prior to the sale's approval, none other than Bill Clinton goes to Moscow, gets paid $500,000 for a 1-hour speech, then meets Vladimir Putin at his home for a few hours. No big deal, right? Not so fast. The FBI had a mole inside the money laundering and bribery scheme. Robert Mueller was the FBI director during this time frame. Yep, he even delivered a uranium sample to Moscow in 2009. Who was handling that case within the Justice Department out of the U.S. Attorney's Office in Maryland? None other than Rod Rosenstein. And what happened to that informant? The Department of Justice placed a gag order on him and threatened to lock him up if he ever spoke about it. How does 20% of the most strategic asset of the United States of America end up in Russian hands when the FBI has an informant, a mole providing inside information to the FBI and the criminal enterprise? Very soon after, the sale was approved. $145 million in donations made their way into the Clinton Foundation from entities directly connected to the Uranium One deal. Guess who is still at the Internal Revenue Service working the charitable division? You guessed it. None other than Lois Lerner.
Yes, they are.
Okay. That's all just another series of coincidences, right? Nothing to see here. Let's fast forward to 2015. Due to a series of tragic events in Benghazi, and after the 9 investigations, the House, Senate, and at the State Department, Trey Gowdy, who is running the 10th investigation as chairman of the Select Committee on Benghazi, discovers that Hillary ran the State Department on an unclassified, unauthorized, outlaw personal email server. He also discovered that none of those emails had been turned over when she departed her public service as Secretary of State, which was required by law. He also discovered that there was top secret information contained within her personally archived email.
I don't like Trey
Sparing you
Gowdy.
the State Department cover-ups, the delay tactics that were employed, and the outright lies that were spewed forth from the necks of the Kerry State Department, we shall
I
leave
like
it like
Nunez,
this.
though.
They did everything humanly possible to cover for Hillary. Now this is amazing. Guess who became FBI director in 2013? None other than James Comey, who secured 17 no-bid contracts for his employer, Lockheed Martin, with the State Department, and was rewarded with a $6 million thank you present when he departed his employer. It's amazing how those no-bids just sailed right through at the state, huh? Now he is the FBI director in charge of the Clinton email investigation. After, of course, his FBI investigates the Lois Lerner matter at the Internal Revenue Service and exonerates her. Nope, couldn't find any crimes there. And in April 2016, James Comey drafts an exoneration letter of Hillary Rodham Clinton, meaning the DOJ is handing out immunity deals like candy. They didn't even convene a grand jury. Like a lightning bolt of statistical impossibility, like a miracle from God himself, like the true gangsta Comey is, James steps out into the cameras of an awaiting press conference on July 8, 2016, and exonerates the Hillary from any wrongdoing. Do you see the pattern? It goes on and on. Rosenstein becomes Assistant Attorney General.
Comey gets fired based upon a letter by Rosenstein. Comey leaks government information to the press. Mueller is assigned to the Russian investigation sham by Rosenstein to provide cover for decades of malfeasance within the FBI and DOJ, and the story continues. FISA abuse, political espionage, pick a crime, any crime, chances are this group and a few others did it. All the same players, all compromised and conflicted, all working fervently to not go to jail themselves, all connected in one way or another to the Clintons. They are like battery acid. They corrode and corrupt everything they touch. How many lives have these two destroyed? As of this writing, the Clinton Foundation is in its 20-plus years of operation of being the largest international charity fraud in the history of mankind, and it has never been audited by the IRS. Let us not forget that Comey's brother works for DLA Piper, the law firm that does.
Okay, all right. You had to bring. All right, I'm sorry.
That is the common denominator.
I know this is a little. Sorry. Okay, so you know the funny thing is, I heard that Trump asked to buy them for 10 cents on the dollar or something. The thousands of dollars spent on her fireworks. I'm not joking. From what I heard. Trump actually offered to buy them.
To all the crimes above, and still doing her evil escape legal maneuvers at the top of the three-letter U.S. agencies? Yep, that would be Hillary.
The results were rigged. Dude, George Soros literally donated all the voting machines to California and hell other states. They've proven that, they said, oh, he didn't win the majority, he won the blah, blah, blah. No. He won the majority by millions because of all the rigged fucking votes. Hey, guess what? Before the anniversary of 9/11 comes, this is all coming out, is what I hear from a couple birdies. I hope I'm right, or they're right.
Who is Lisa Barsoomian? Let's learn a little about Mrs. Lisa H. Barsoomian's background. Lisa H. Barsoomian, an attorney that graduated from Georgetown Law, is a protege of James Comey and Robert Mueller.
Thank you guys for being here, seriously.
R. Craig Lawrence represented Bill Clinton in graduated from Georgetown Law, is a protege of James Comey and Robert Mueller. Barsoomian, with her boss R. Craig Lawrence, represented Bill Clinton in 1998. Lawrence also represented Robert Mueller 3 times, James Comey 5 times, Barack Obama 45 times, Kathleen Sebelius 56 times, Bill Clinton 40 times, and Hillary Clinton 17 times.
Pay attention.
Between 1998 and 2017, Barsoomian herself represented the FBI at least 5 times. You may be saying to yourself, okay, who cares? Who cares about the work history of this Barsoomian woman? Well, apparently, someone does, because someone out there cares so much that they've purged all Barsoomian court documents for her Clinton representation in the Hamburg versus Clinton 1998 and its appeal in 1999 from the D.C. District and Appeals Court dockets. Someone out there cares so much that even the internet has been purged of all information pertaining to Barsoomian. Historically, this indicates that the individual is a protected CIA operative. Additionally, Lisa Barsoomian has specialized in opposing Freedom of Information Act requests on behalf of the intelligence community. Although Barsoomian has been involved in hundreds of cases representing the D.C. office of the U.S. Attorney, her email address is lisabarsoomian@nih.gov. The NIH stands for National Institutes of Health. This is a tactic used by the CIA to protect an operative by using another government organization to shield their activities. It's a cover. So big deal, right? What does one more attorney with ties to the U.S. intelligence community really matter? It deals with Trump and his recent tariffs on Chinese steel and aluminum imports, the border wall, DACA, everything coming out of California, the uniparty unrelenting opposition to President Trump, the Clapper leaks, the Comey leaks, Attorney General Jeff Sessions' recusal and subsequent 14-month nap with occasional forays into the marijuana legalization mix, and last but not least, Mueller's never-ending investigation into collusion between the Trump team and the Russians. Why does Barsoomian merit any mention? Because She is Assistant Attorney General Rod Rosenstein's wife. Friends, I'll leave you with a couple of tweets from our president. This one on August 30th. Wow. Nellie Orr, Bruce Orr's wife, is a Russian expert who is fluent in Russian. She worked for Fusion GPS where she was paid a lot. Collusion. Bruce was a boss at the Department of Justice and is unbelievably still there. And in this tweet from August 30th, I just cannot state strongly enough how totally dishonest much of the media is. Truth doesn't matter to them. They only have their hatred and agenda. And we'll sum up this, friends, with this tweet from the president on August 28th. Hillary Clinton's emails, many of which are classified information, got hacked by China. Next move better be by the FBI and DOJ. Or, after all of their other missteps, Comey, McCabe, Strzok, Page, Orr, FISA, Dirty Dossier, etc., their credibility will be forever gone. And friends, as you all know, their credibility is already gone, and the only ones standing up for the crooked deep state at this point are the mockingbirds at CNN, MSNBC, WAPO, New York Times, etc. For real news, 24/7, visit us at SGT.
Yes, they're the shit. Alright. So, I want to thank all you guys for, sticking around and being here with me. I know I'm kind of crazy. It jumps around. It is what it is. But I try to bring as much information as I can. And, I mean, I never believe 100% of what anything has to say. And that's why I usually have a lot to debate about. But I try to bring a lot of information to you guys because everything is so crooked and messed up and lies that it's so much we are bombarded. I mean, it's fucking insane. But I do enjoy you guys, and I appreciate you guys being here. I really do appreciate you guys being here. But I think we're going to call it a night because it usually ends up going kind of weird and messed up after 3 hours. We're almost at 3 hours and 20 minutes. So just want to, like I said, we dropped a lot of good information. Anybody that didn't see it all, go back and look at it. But, anybody, that didn't see the whole thing, there's lots of good information, lots of good laughs, this, that, the other thing. All right. Well, I just want to say that I appreciate you guys being here, and I'm going to get something to eat. All right. Like.